fix the chat. I will fix the chat. The chat will be fixed by me. The reason this takes so long, as I mumble it at the beginning of our stream, is because I'm using a laptop touchpad like a mouse, which is never ideal.
No, it isn't.
Okay, I think we're good. Chat's up. All right. Hi, everybody. Welcome back. It's Kyle Ian again.
Surprise.
One announcement this week. Surprise.
Well,
that was not a surprise.
you said it's Kyle and Ian again.
Oh, wait. I don't follow.
Well, it was said as though people would be surprised that it was us.
Oh, well.
And then
I think they'd be more surprised that they're tuning in.
Surprise! You're here!
Yay, surprise! You're watching this amazing show. Speaking of amazing shows, I did put up in our chat initially before we're going, so it's at the bottom of the screen, and if nobody shows up, as is usually the case, it will remain at the bottom of the screen. But I am out of town next week.
Oh, okay.
So we will not be streaming next week. But I think we had a good run. I think we had 6 consecutive weeks.
Either this is 6 or 7.
Streaming. Yeah,
it's pretty solid.
6 or 7. Something
good block.
like that. So we did good. Of course, last week we only played 2 games. They were really good games.
Yeah.
I thought I played really clever and awesome. So I guess maybe now's your turn.
Well,
let's do some of that. What are we doing tonight?
We'll see.
I'm gonna get some life dice.
Yeah, I've got a. I believe we decided this was a double A.
So I'll roll one of my double A's.
I
think I'm out of. I should check to see if there's a double A that has not seen play.
Yeah, I am not certain.
There is not.
This deck may not have seen play on the stream. I'm not 100% sure, but out of all the decks that I occasionally pick up and glance at, I have the least confidence that this one has actually been viewed on the stream.
These are facing a bad way.
You
I'm
should
going
fix
to rotate
that.
them.
Yes. It is
More
much harder
easy
to
perusal.
pick a deck when they are Z to A as opposed to A to Z.
They're not ordered.
Well, then why did
That's
you have
in
to?
play. That's in play. So they're facing me.
I see. Fair
That's
enough. All right, that's
in play.
reasonable, I
That
suppose.
has seen play. That has seen play. That has seen play.
That's true.
That has seen play.
Also true.
That has seen. We are a full set of double A's. So I'm legit gonna roll, or I'm actually gonna keep the roll I made, which was this 4.
Oh, 4. The deck number 4.
I'm gonna pick this 4. So now I guess when we play double A's, I'll probably not remember that we have reached this milestone with double A's. But if I do, I will then be rolling for each of my decks and then only vetoing if it is the same deck as the deck I played immediately prior.
Right. Yeah, pretty reasonable.
Which is to say 2 consecutive weeks of streaming.
Yeah. Right. Not necessarily the same night. You probably wouldn't play it the same night.
Right. Well, either of those. What I said covers both of those.
Yes.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a little imprecise tonight, folks. Bear with me.
Yeah. Time is relative and all that. Yeah,
Time is relative.
Well, sure.
Well, time is not relevant.
No, it's not relevant. It's relative. I mean, if you're related to it.
Double A. Yes.
Double A.
Here we go. All right,
Yeah.
I'm going to get the rest of my life dice. Like so. Cut your deck.
Yeah. Oh, life dice. What a novel idea.
You should get some life dice too.
I should do that.
And then we should roll off.
Yeah, we should do that too.
I rolled a 5.
I, on the other hand, have rolled a 3.
I would like to go odds.
Then odds you shall go.
I think I shouldn't keep this. You made an entertaining noise.
I did, and then I got rid of those cards.
Okay.
That is a scary...
We have that in common, then.
Scary opening hand.
Oh, interesting. Well, that's something. Okay. Well, I'm going to do this.
Yeah.
And then I don't have one drop.
Okay.
I'm glad I mulliganed. It did not get much better, though.
Indeed. I have Hank Pym Yellow Jacket. When he enters play, choose a version, and I will choose the version Mighty Avenger. Activate. Target character of that version gets +3 attack and has flight this turn. But I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to attack for 1.
So I guess he keeps that version?
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That does not change. I can only target the character of the version Mighty Avenger. I will tell you this. My shuffle job is one of the strangest I have seen in a long, long time. It's my initiative. I do not have a 2-drop.
Yeah, that's something you could do.
Mm-hmm.
Neither do I.
Well, you're going to take 1 whole damage.
Oh, man.
Look at that. A
Doubling my losses already on turn 2.
And you do not want.
Why, this is sure an interesting draw.
Yup. I agree. I do.
Well, I don't want to recruit the Joker, but I will.
Yeah, that's fair.
The Joker's power is, whenever the Joker is discarded, I may remove him from the game. If I do, I may shuffle my hand into my deck and then draw a card for each card you shuffled in. I play the Joker so that I can play
another card
beside myself, which I may only do if I control an Arkham Inmates character. Ongoing Insanity. Whenever I draw a card, whenever I draw 1 or more cards, flip a coin. If you win the flip, draw an additional card. As usual, I represent that by rolling a d6 and drawing an extra card if it is evens.
Right. Very good. I am going to recruit Natasha Romanoff, Black Widow, with the version Mighty Avenger. I may discard a character card, and target defender gets -X defense this attack, where X is half its defense, rounded up. I may only use this while Natasha Romanoff is attacking, and only once per turn. As a reminder, I can activate Hank Pym to give a Mighty Avenger +3 attack and flight for the turn.
So I'll attack her.
Yeah, that's probably a good call. Right now we are both stunned.
That's true.
I will take the point of breakthrough. So I will take 4. And I am going to play Invasion Plans. Play only during your attack step. To play, exhaust a character you control. Draw 2 cards.
That's a good card.
Yeah.
I will only be drawing 2 cards.
That is a true thing that you have said.
What a weird draw. You
My
can't even
draw.
imagine.
I can't, but I can assure you my draw is similarly blessed. It is my initiative.
Holding things.
You know,
Holding things is for chumps.
you should throw some cards on
I
the floor,
did.
Ian.
I did throw 1 card on the floor.
I may have played this on stream. I don't know. I'm going to recruit...
You may have played what?
I may have played this on the stream. I just slurred that all together to sound inebriated.
Cool.
This is Sharon Carter. Agent 13, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. Sharon Carter has discard a character card this turn. She can attack a character as though it were visible and unprotected, and it loses and can't have reinforcement.
That's nasty. And she's got a lot of attack, too.
Yep, she's a real legit fort up. She is also concealed.
Friggin' Sharon Carter.
Fargan Sharon Carter.
Fargan Sharon Carter.
Sharon Carter. Yep.
I have Batzaro.
Batzaro!
Batzaro's power is Batzaro can't attack. Or, if you're playing an Insanity deck, Batzaro can't not attack instead.
Man, I love it. So good. So Batzaro.
So I can't not attack.
You can't not attack. Well... I guess the way that he's also very large.
Yes. Yes, he is.
He's a large Batzaro.
Can't not attack.
He can't not attack. Man, this is weird. Weird choices about how I do this. I guess the right play is to attack Bat Zaro for 8. As a reminder, on the table, doesn't mean you don't want me to do it, because Black Widow is attacking,
Right.
I can discard a card to have your defense rounded up.
Okay.
Or rather, the defense you lose is rounded up.
Sure.
But currently we are tied.
Yeah. Okay, I will stun Sharon card.
Yeah. Does work. I will take 3.
4.
It is your initiative now.
Yeah.
Debating on whether or not to fall into my trap.
Yeah.
Pretty reasonable. Pretty reasonable.
My cards are circumstantially not very useful.
Did you pronounce that circumstantially?
Maybe. It's possible.
I'm not going to rule it out.
Circumstantially.
We're going to have to watch that one on the replay later, folks.
Circumstantially?
Circumstantially.
That would be pretty weird.
It would. It sure would.
I think I must pass.
Now, does that mean that do I choose to fall into your trap? I think the answer is I still need to fall into your trap because I get to deal you damage, and that's pretty important. So Sharon Carter will attack the Joker.
Okay.
Attack is 8.
Now I must choose.
True.
I must choose.
True.
I must gamble, so I must choose how I must gamble.
True.
I'm going to reveal Blackgate Prison. Activate, discard a card at random, target Arkham inmates, attacker, or defender you control gets +3 attack this attack. So I will be discarding a card at random. And there are, in fact, 2 cards in here and several on the floor that I would prefer you don't discard. Let me make sure I still have all my cards. I felt like I dropped even more than I had. Yep.
So I'll be selecting one of these at random, and it will be discarded.
Not that one.
Alright.
Yay, it's a 7 drop. That's not so bad. So I'm +2.
Yeah, I mean, it'll work.
Alright.
I'm going to deal you some breakthrough. My attack is 8.
Yeah, it will be 4.
Yep.
So I'm going to take 7 for that.
And I do take 4 as well.
Ow.
Eventually.
Ow. And if you are not doing anything, I will be recovering Bizarro.
Yeah.
That's Bizarro.
I will lose Sharon Carter. She's great, but I'm stuck with Yellow Jacket, which is actually a little concerning at this point.
Do not get an extra card. Boy, I sure could use those extra cards.
That is true. It is your initiative.
Yeah. It is. I'm going to recruit Calendar Man.
It's Calendar Man. Look at him go.
Calendar Man's power is activate, draw a card, discard a card at random for each character adjacent to Calendar Man. Use this only during the combat phase.
Interesting. You still have 3 resource points remaining.
That's going to be it. I'm having a
Not what
ideal
you want
draw.
to draw, yes. Well, I got lucky. I top decked a 5-drop, which I did not have until just now, which I will recruit. I'm recruiting Radioactive Man. Radioactive Man does not have the version Mighty Avenger. He also has the power. He's got Substitute, which won't matter.
That's oddly specific.
Well, I want to point out that his power
sure.
does not fire, but yes, it's weird. Pay 2 Endurance. Yeah, this is most useless power. I swear, I feel like this matchup happens. Pay 2 Endurance. Target player moves each of his characters until none are adjacent to each other. Use only while Radioactive Man is in combat.
Right.
So yeah, there you go. I did that.
Okay. So, gosh, I wish Batzaro could not attack, but he can't.
Correct. But you could draw a card.
Yes, I will in fact draw a card. And then discard a card at random. Adjacent. God! Ah! We'll draw only one card.
Has that happened every time now? So far
What?
this game?
Oh yeah, I have not drawn an extra card from that. It's not statistically unusual yet, but it's frustrating because I
you
don't
needed
have
the
an
extra
ideal draw.
cards. Yes. What is it? 3 times?
3 times.
Yeah.
Yep. So what I will do is the thing I'm gonna do. This game is gonna spin right out of control very soon.
Yes.
Zero can't not attack.
Can't not attack.
His attack is bigger than Radioactive Man's defense.
I am aware.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like, maybe I.
You can't not attack. Can't not attack.
So
Oh,
I
bad
will.
sorrow.
This is the worst thing.
The worst.
It's pretty worst. I'm going to.
Well, I'm sitting down.
I don't want to do it. Oh, it's so
terrible.
bad. It's so bad. I'm going to play Chilly Reception,
Yeah.
which I may play only during my attack step to exhaust target visible character. I will be exhausting Yellow Jacket. Or Ant-Man, or whatever the fuck
Yeah,
it is.
you're right. Yellow Jacket.
You know.
Let me see. Is there anything that I'm doing with that now? I guess I'm just gonna let that fly. Okay, you done it.
And then Bizarro, who can't not attack.
Can't not attack.
Is going to attack Radioactive Man.
Probably for a lot. You're gonna do a bunch of things.
Attack you for 9.
What are you doing?
Attack you for 9.
That's gonna work. I'm gonna take 1 point of breakthrough. I'll stun you back. 1 point of breakthrough plus, of course, the 5 stun, putting me at 30. You've exhausted Yellow Jacket. What madness is this? I clearly must. I mean, you might be able to get me. I know that deck can do it, but I've got Attack Calendar Man.
Alright, I'll be playing Batter Up. Insanity.
It's pretty crazy.
Discard a card at random. Target attacker or defender gets plus X attack as attack, where X is the cost of the card you discarded.
Oh my word. Well, I already got rid of a 7-drop, so that improves my odds.
Does it?
Yeah. So you're discarding whatever card I select,
Mm-hmm.
and you get plus X attack, where X is the cost of
Correct.
the card. Okay. I will select the card on the end.
That card is Emil Hamilton, plus 3 attack.
Okay.
What is your defense?
It is 7, so if you get another plus 3 and I play nothing, you will get the stun.
We're going to do it.
I knew you would. You can't go halfway. Man. Yeah. Other end.
Bizarro.
Bizarro.
It caused me such a headache last time this deck
Oh,
came out.
man. It is a 6-drop, though. I guess I should be glad to get rid of a 6-drop. Maybe you don't have a spare. So I am going to play something, but it is not a defensive buff, I regret. It's an offensive one. I'm going to flip up God's Eye Satellite.
I'm in no position for this.
Activate. Target S.H.I.E.L.D. character you control gets plus X attack this turn. where X is its cost. At the start of the recovery phase this turn, return that character to its owner's hand.
Oh boy, so 12.
So the attack is up to 12.
I'm going to take 11.
But I am counter-stunned for 4. And I clearly lose a pretty important character, though she will be going back to my hand. So we enter the recovery phase. She pops back to my hand because of God's Eye Satellite. Not getting it. Oh, yeah, you're keeping Yellow Jacket around. I see what you're doing there. Interesting. Yeah, you did. Are you up to statistically weird yet? Maybe at 5
It's
it starts
getting there.
getting kind
It's
of weird.
4. That's
Yeah.
It's kind of an outlier. Boy, that's some interesting stuff right there.
Yeah.
It's your initiative, huh?
Yeah.
I don't love it.
No. Well, I have War Machine. War Machine is the director of the initiative. That's his version. Also, not to be confused with Mighty Avenger. He's a reservist, so I may recruit him from my resource row, which wasn't the case here. His flight and range, 12-12. Characters get -1/-1 while attacking War Machine. It's his only power. Boy, I cannot get rid of Hank Pym. That's going to be a real problem one of these turns. Real problem. Yeah.
I have Darkside.
Darkside. Darkside is this.
One that doesn't come out very often, so it might be a surprise. Darkside's power is, when Darkseid enters play, you may exchange the positions of target resource you control and target non-team-up plot twist an opponent controller. I'm not going to do that.
When he enters play, that happens?
Yes.
A non-team-up plot twist, which would include my invasion plans. And you can swap that with a face-up...
With a resource I control.
Oh! So you could give me, like, a character that's worthless in exchange for something.
For a plot twist you've already played? I don't know. It doesn't seem like a very good ability.
Oh, you don't get to turn it face down. Like, you don't get to use...
It doesn't say that.
Yeah, you're right. It's non-specific.
The only thing I could see using that for is... I don't know if you remember, I don't play with it in any of my decks anymore, but the Furnace of Apocalypse?
Well, it's useful in standard Darkside, right? Because you swap something that I can't flip up for something I have flipped up. So it pushes,
sure, that's good. He
that's
can go in a
probably,
regular Darkside deck. Yeah, that makes sense.
However, in this context, he is not doing that.
Yeah.
So
It's actually not as good as I thought.
yeah.
Boy, I'm in trouble. You might be able to kill me this turn.
I do have some good swinging power on the table. You got how many cards in your hand?
2.
Yeah.
I think you will. I don't think there's anything I can do about it.
Well, I'm going to review my cards. I think the correct course is actually for Radioactive Man to attack Darkside.
Does that automatically happen?
No, I must pay 2 endurance to do it. So I am not currently doing it. I'm just going to attack Darkside with, of course, God's Eye Satellite.
God's Eye. He will return to your hand.
I really wanted to use it on Yellow Jacket, but I think I just have to try and swing big here. So my attack is 15.
15. So I will take 8 from this. I might be able to survive.
Yeah. Though Betzaro can't not attack.
That's not great. Yeah, Betzaro can't not attack.
I do take 5. I am counter-stunned.
Don't think you could swing through with Hank Pym, and even so, how much could it be for?
Well, on the board, you can give yourself the +3 attack to stun War Machine, except that War Machine gives attackers -1/-1.
So I'm going to reveal Training Day. Ongoing, free, choose 2 different affiliations among characters you control, cross over those affiliations this turn, use only once per turn. I will choose Arkham Inmates and Revenge Squad.
Alright.
I'm also going to reveal Never Ending Battle. Play only if you control a Revenge Squad character. Ongoing, discard a plot twist card. Target attacker or defender gets -2 defense this attack. And I'm also going to reveal Bizarro Brawl.
My word.
Ongoing, Insanity. Free, target Revenge Squad attacker or defender you control gets +1 attack this attack for each ongoing plot twist you control.
Oh my.
Use this only once a turn.
Attacker or defender?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
So Bizarro is going to attack
Man,
because he
that's
can't
really
not.
good.
He's going to attack War Machine.
Yeah.
But free, I'm going to give him +4 attack.
Yeah, that's a thing you can do. +4 attack for free, because you have 4 ongoing plot twists. Man, that's a good card. You don't see that every day. I guess I'm going to reinforce.
Am I even doing breakthrough? I don't think I am.
+4 attack. Yeah, that's right, because you didn't use that other stuff. Okay, that'll work. I am stunned for 6. I'm at 15.
7. Not liking my odds here.
You know, I've still got a huge liability that I can't seem to get rid of, which is rather disappointing.
It'd be cool if I recruit 2 characters, but since I can't, it's not
I'm going to attack you for 1. I don't have anything else I can do.
Guess I take 1.
Yeah. Radioactive Man returns to my hand.
This'll be the time.
Yeah!
Yay!
It happened
Extra
everyone
card.
rolled an even number.
I do have initiative.
Yeah, I don't like that so much.
It's turn 7.
Yeah. My truss. Peculiar. Yep, my draw is peculiar. Man, I wish I did not have tiny little yellow jacket. Do not like that. Though you do not currently have flight. What an odd draw you're
I'm really having a weird one over here.
No.
It's pretty strange.
Excuse me.
Huh. I think I must recruit. The Riddler
Mm-hmm.
and Cagey Beast. I do have to replace things. Boy, I'm having a hard time. Not out, but pretty
Well,
close.
I've got a dickish thing that I must do because it is in the best interest of me winning. So,
Sure.
I am going to recruit Thor. Thor has a power which I can only use during once per turn, which I'm now going to use. Discard your hand.
Oh, that's a lot of cards.
Target player loses X endurance, and you draw X cards where X is the number of S.H.I.E.L.D. character cards discarded this way. Use only once per turn. We'll fire that power. I have 2 equipment.
Wow, he cycles the cards and pings?
And
That's
7.
really good.
It's very,
That's
very good.
really good.
Only characters, but yes. So I'm down 2 cards,
dead.
but that is exactly enough to kill you. So I draw 6 from that. Boy, some of those would have been great earlier in the game. It's alright. So now, you're going to exhaust my team. Which is a thing you can do. But how do you do it? So KGB's triggers immediately, right?
So does the Riddler.
Okay.
So I target with the Riddler and then you choose.
I see.
Is how we're going to do that.
Okay.
So I'm going to target Thor.
Okay. So Thor has been targeted by Riddler. Maybe discard. Okay. So I need to think for a moment. Now I might have a thing I can do, and I'm debating on it. I can't get an attack this turn. Thor will be exhausted for sure. Well, I hope that I'm just more durable than you are. I'm going to play Messiah Complex from my resource row. Messiah Complex says, return target character card from your KO'd pile to your hand. I will select Iron Man. Boost, exhaust 2 characters you control. I will select Thor and Yellow Jacket. Gain endurance equal to the cost of the card return.
Oh boy.
And then I must choose a character to exhaust for KG Beast. And I am at 22.
That's pretty damn durable.
So it's a very peculiar play. But I think it's the right one. So on the board, the only modifier that I have is God's Eye, which can be used on attack or defense.
Okay.
Though I do not expect that to be consequential. It certainly won't be dealing tons of breakthrough to you this turn.
So,
Did you actually read KG Beast and Riddler? We might have assumed.
I did not. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Riddler's power is, at the start of my attack step, I may discard a card at random, which I did. If I do, exhaust target visible character, which was Thor.
Yes.
And KG Beasts is, at the start of your attack step, target player exhausts a ready character he controls.
Right.
A little thinky there. Didn't follow the on-stream rules. So I got a team attack Thor.
Yeah.
I will boost my attack by 4.
Right. Well, that's clearly enough to get the stun. I will stun Riddler. Unsurprisingly, I will take 7. Putting me at 15. I must pass.
I'm going to attack Yellow Jacket for 15.
Yep, that will put me at 0.
It was surprisingly close. I kind of felt like I was outclassed that whole game.
Yeah. Well, you left. I couldn't get rid of my
5-point spread.
Couldn't get rid of my liability, and of course, with your deck, you have huge damage spikes, which certainly I do as well with God's Eye if I get that. But yeah, it was sort of a very weird last turn. I mean, the whole game. So the thing that you didn't see, of course, was my opening hand contained 2 Sharon Carters and my other 4-drop in the deck. So I'm like, well, I'm not going to see turn 4, and I got lucky and got a Sharon Carter because there are 4 of her in the deck. She's really freaking good. She's one of those just like I have her around. She's a great threat, and I only end up using her power once or twice a game because you have to discard every time, and that eats into plays with Thor. But then the other thing is when I drew my new hand, I drew 3 Natasha Romanovs. My opening hand was 3 of her, which is why I chose Mighty Avenger. But yeah, it was very strange. I couldn't get rid of my liability. And I did not realize the intent of your play when you exhausted him for quite a while there. And we got to the next turn. I'm like, oh, he's still around, and I couldn't do anything about that.
Well, you may be giving me more credit than I deserve. It was certainly useful to have him around this turn.
Right.
And that was a byproduct of my play.
Right.
But the reason I made that play was to remove the only 1-cost card from my hand, which was the only card that would let me not get the counter
Oh,
stun when you
interesting. Oh.
And since I knew I was going to attack your 5-drop, I just exhausted your 1-drop.
Yeah. Oh, that's clever.
This is a close spread, so that 1 attack would have mattered, or the reinforced for 1 damage would have mattered as well.
Yeah, and clearly that life total really mattered. It's interesting. I didn't have much else useful. The plot twist was not useful, and then I had another Messiah Complex, which is niche really useful.
I'm going to look at some of the cards I would have drawn if that thing ever worked.
Yeah, the 3D
wouldn't have helped.
wouldn't have made the difference. There's strange draws on both sides. And S.H.I.E.L.D. is interesting because they have a lot of prickly, strong characters, but not as many surprises. Once things like God's Eye are
God's Eye is very hard to deal with.
It's a very rough card. I mean, it's tough because you always want to... It mitigates the pain for me of losing a character. That's really the purpose of the deck, because I tend to use it.
Because you have a lot of powers
Yeah.
that trigger off of cards in your
Yeah,
hand.
that's
So
true,
not
yeah.
only does
Yeah.
it, not only does it give you a huge sweeping damage boost, like more so than on
That's
average
very
most
true.
cards.
Very true.
Should you be in the very common circumstance of having to lose a character
Right.
a turn,
I use it on one.
but it also fuels your other powers.
No, it's a very strong card. It's one of the stronger cards in the deck. It's
My fear that game
yeah.
was that at any time, this turn or last turn,
Yeah.
if you flipped a second, which you could have,
Oh,
you would have
right.
finished me off.
Oh, that's true. That's true. That's right. At the cost of a resource, it's
Yeah.
well worth it to attain instant victory. It's a very, very good card. And they're
Thor pinged me for 7, and you gain 7 life.
yeah. Well, that's
tough to overcome.
that was a strange combo. I don't often get to do that combo. Sometimes I get Thor. I know you've seen him before. Messiah Complex, I
don't
actually
remember that ability. I'm sure I've seen him.
It's not common. He's actually the less common 7-drop. I want to say I only have one of them in the deck. I've got another 7-drop I've got 2 of. Maybe 3 of. But in any case, it's a fun power. Sometimes Thor ends up being an 8-drop play. But there your life was just low enough that I felt like that was the better play.
Well, I had the setup, and I'm sure you saw,
Yeah.
that if I played carefully,
Yeah.
you wouldn't win that turn if you
Right.
didn't ping me.
Right. Well,
That's what I was playing for.
what I also think is interesting
Not that
about
I
that...
would not have been better off next turn at all.
Well,
so.
sure. But the one other thing I will say is it did take both Thor and then the life gain, because the difference is less than 7.
Yep.
So had I not also gained the 7...
Well, it's a testament to how, and one of the reasons I like Insanity is that
they're always scary.
they're very difficult to control.
Yeah.
They're unpredictable because of the nature of the deck construction. And this turn I had a particularly bad draw, but they can overcome their bad draws with the sheer power of their cards, as I did a bit this game.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
And I think, how often did I play Uncurved that game? Twice?
Yeah, it wasn't often.
I played a 3, I played a 4,
Yeah.
it was 3 times. 3, 4, and 6.
Did you? Well, and 7. You
I
didn't
didn't.
play a 7.
No, I mean, the only times I played
Oh,
a character on
I see.
curve
Yeah.
was 3, 4, and
Yeah.
6.
Yeah, it's
Less than half the game.
It's very, very strange. Very strange draws. Insanity's a weird deck. It's very, very scary, though. You have that strong burst strikes. The characters and powers are all individually very, very strong.
So here's how I got in trouble, and it's kind of funny, although it did help me utilize some of my discard powers
Yeah.
effectively. My opening hand was 3 5-drops and something, which I threw
just
out
like my 3-4 drops.
and then drew 3 6-drops.
Just like my 3-3 drops. Because my opening hand was 3-4 drops and a 7-drop. And the next 4 cards were 3-3 drops and a 6-drop. And then I did top deck Pim.
All right, what's next?
So, I'm skipping my decks. I feel like I played a lot of them.
Well,
I'm not. I mean, of course we worked through them, but I kind of feel like playing your A's off each other. Might be a
Again,
fun
mine
idea.
again.
Well,
We can.
we haven't played
don't mind.
I don't think we've ever played your decks against each other on stream.
We certainly have, and it was my A's, in fact.
What? Which one? What did we play off each other?
I don't remember. It was an early stream.
Yeah. All right. Okay.
You
Well.
play your decks. We
right.
still got plenty of matchups.
All right. Well. Pick an A deck.
All right, I shall. I will look to see if, like the double A's, there are any A's that have not seen play. I think that is also the case.
Yeah.
We might actually be in good shape. I might be completely back to random.
Yeah. I think we have now seen all of my decks.
I'm not sure if that one has seen play. I don't think that one has seen play either. There may be a couple. That one definitely has. One of these two hasn't. Alright, there's actually a lot of my A's that have not seen play.
That's interesting.
I guess it's fair because you only have 3, so
Yep. Yeah.
there's not a reason for me to bring them up very often. That one's Scene play. I'm pretty sure that was scene play. I think this one hasn't scene play. I may be misremembering. If it is, it's been a while.
Yep.
If it has, it's been a while.
Yeah, I think all of my double A's and all my A's have seen play. There are a handful of my S's that have not. And by a handful, I think I mean 2? I think there are 2. There's one for sure that has not been on the stream. Or as sure as I am about anything.
You're not very sure.
Not very sure of anything. Not when it comes to things like that, anyway.
Miss Chris.
Good old Chris.
Keep looking over wistfully at the chat.
No stream
empty chat.
next week. 019. Oops, that's this week. Next week is 8/26. But there's still no stream. You should have followed that up with next week. You see, you scared Chris away. He came in.
I scared him away.
Yeah, you scared him away. Better than scaring him a line.
Scaring him a line.
A line and array.
Math humor. Geometry humor.
Geometry humor.
Geometry?
Geometry.
Oh, you won that one.
Hey, I'm a winner. I'm gonna go,
That's a bad plan, but I'm gonna keep this.
I guess I'm gonna go.
It's a bad plan.
That's weird. I don't. Okay, that's 5. What the hell does this deck do on 6? Maybe something great. I'm gonna go odds.
Alright.
Oh, good lord. These draws. Clearly, I need to improve my shuffling mojo. Ooh, doggies! So I win odds.
You did.
I've got microchip. Microchip has activate, remove microchip from the game, turn a face at plot twist with cost 1 or less you control face down.
Oh, I got. You'll be happy of character you can KO. It's a rat catcher.
It's a rat catcher. Oh, I hate rat catchers.
Whenever a character becomes stunned, each of your opponents loses 1 endurance.
Yup. I'll attack rat catcher.
Oh, I think 2 characters are going to be stunned.
I take 3. Oh, this is terrible. Not a good start.
It's fine. That's interesting.
Well, it is your initiative.
Yep. I will be recruiting. That ain't gonna work. I'll be recruiting Barbara
Barbara Gordon.
As an additional cost to recruit Barbara Gordon, reveal another Gotham Knights character card from your hand. I will reveal the GCPD officers.
Yeah. So revealed.
Pay 1 resource point, draw a card. Use this power only once a turn. Activate, draw a card. Use this power only during the recovery phase. I will also be playing World's Finest, which is a vanilla team up.
Vanilla team up it is. So... I am going to recruit... Choice I must contemplate. Stupid rat catcher. I'll recruit Hannibal King into my concealed area. He has activate. When target character is put into a KO'd pile during the combat phase this turn, its controller loses 5 endurance.
Jeebus. That's nasty.
Be afraid.
Have you recruited him? I don't remember that.
Maybe once.
I remember pinging for cost. Pinging.
Pinging.
But I don't remember the 5. That's awful.
Yeah. He's a jerk. Probably won't matter.
It might not.
Might matter. We'll see. Time will tell.
Yeah.
It is your initiative.
Hmm.
He is concealed, by the way.
I guess I will attack with Ratcatcher.
We are stunned. We'll take another 3. I'm going to attack Barbara Gordon. 2.
I am stunned and you are not. I will take 2. I'm going to reveal Arkham Asylum.
Yeah.
Activate. Return target stunned Arkham Inmates character you control to owner's hand. Activate. Target Arkham Inmates attacker gets +2 attack this turn while attacking an exhausted character. I'm going to use that first ability to put Ratcatcher back in the hand.
And they are both activated powers. Okay.
Recover Barbara Gordon.
Suppose I will keep microchip.
I don't have an issue.
Watch out, cards.
Holding things is really
It's
challenging.
for jumps.
Really, really challenging.
Totally for jumps. It is my initiative. Oh boy. I'm going to recruit Blade. He's a 2-drop, unfortunately. As an additional cost to recruit Blade, reveal a Marvel Knights character you control from your hand. I will reveal Luke Cage, 4 drops. Blade gets +1/+1 while equipped. He's currently not equipped, but he's a 3/2.
Alright, I'm going to pay a resource point to draw a card.
What? Failed at my duties again.
Uh-oh.
It's alright.
Let's hope we're not interrupted. What? You're just plugging that into the wall and not into the computer?
It appears that way. It's all part of my master plan. There we go.
I'm going to recruit Ratcatcher.
Catcher.
Ratcatcher. Same one as last time.
Well, I don't like him. If you're going to recruit a 1-drop, he's a pretty good one to recruit. It is my initiative. I am going to attack Ratcatcher with Hannibal King.
Okay. I will reinforce him.
Mm-hmm. It's not unreasonable.
I'll reinforce him and take 1.
I will also take 1 because the character was stunned. Stupid Ratcatcher.
I will pass.
We'll attack Barbara Gordon for 3.
I'm going to reveal GCPD HQ. Whenever 3 or more Gotham Knights characters I control stun a defender, KO that defender.
Yeah.
Also activate target Gotham Knights defender with a cost of 3 or less as reinforcement this attack. We take him 2.
I am going to flip Punisher's Armory. It has 2 powers. I can pay 3 endurance to ready it. I may also activate it to give an attacker +1 attack. This attack. I'll attack you for 2.
Okay, I'm going to take 2. And then I will use Arkham Asylum to return Ratcatcher to my hand.
Yeah. Alright. It's a thing you can do. Man. It's now your initiative. Ahem.
going to pay 1 resource point
Mm-hmm.
to draw a card.
Yeah. I'm with you so far.
I'm going to put this here.
Still with you.
And then I'm going to recruit Ratcatcher.
This is a strange match.
It's fine.
I'm going to recruit my concealed area Luke Cage. Luke Cage, he whom was recently revealed, is concealed. So he was revealed and now he's concealed. I may pay 3 endurance, and he can attack hidden characters this turn. Also, whenever a character an opponent controls is put into a KO'd pile during the combat phase, I may draw a card. I will form like this. Seems like a great plan.
Start taking damage this turn.
It will be the first time.
Well, I guess I attack Microchip.
Yep. God dang it. We are stunned. I'll take an additional 3. So far, all 10 damage I have taken has been from Ratcatcher. I'm going to do the attack with Hannibal. Yep. Assuming you pass. Is that an accurate assumption?
Yes. 11 more. 12 more, probably.
It will be 12.
Oof.
Alright. Feeling a little better.
I'm going to use Arkham Asylum to return
Yeah.
Ratcatcher to my hand.
Can't get rid of that guy. 10 damage from a 1-drop. I guess I'd rather you play him than on curve. Please keep doing that. Now's where that will start being especially valuable.
Whoop, 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 what? That was a noise you sure just made then.
It sure was, and I sure did. Is it my initiative? It is my initiative. I have Punisher. Look at him go. It's Punisher. Punisher says whenever he attacks or becomes a defender, if he is unequipped, I may put an equipment card with cost 1 or less from my hand into play equipped to him. I may also KO an equipment equipped to him to KO target stunned character. Yes.
I'm going to recruit Killer Croc.
Yeah. He's got
Killer
real
Croc's
stats.
power is whenever Killer Croc attacks a character, Killer Croc gets plus X attack, where X is the cost of that character.
Yeah. That is a real thing. Just reviewing my resource row here.
Your heat is running. That's bizarre.
It's cold in here, clearly.
No.
Clearly. I'm gonna attack Killer Croc.
Really? I don't think that's wise.
Weird.
He's like a crocodile.
He's a lot like a
Did you
crocodile.
see Suicide Squad? He's gonna mess you up, man.
I haven't seen that yet. I still do want to.
It's not very good.
I think I'm gonna throw in all of my visible
All
characters,
the
just
visible
to get a little ahead of you. My check is 11.
Okay. Yep. I will attempt to deal the damage to Punisher.
Word. Take 4.
I'll take 5. I'll be running out of life before I can make this deck happen. What are you at?
36.
I'm going to activate Barbara Gordon to play Kidnapping. There's an additional cost to play Kidnapping. Exhausted inmates. Arkham inmates character you control. Put target stunned character an opponent controls on top of its deck. Draw a card. Top of owner's deck. I read that
Well, I'm going to attack her for 2.
Yeah. Yeah. Boy, I wish I could get like 1 defense. That would be nice, but I can't.
I'm
I'll take
glad.
2. And 9 more?
9 more.
Dang it.
It's a very awkward, awkward game here. Very awkward. Still haven't gotten rid of microchip.
I am going to return
Hey,
her
it's
to my
fine.
hand. With
All right.
weapons.
Of course, of course.
That gives me initiative. It is turn
Does
6.
it is.
I might have to do
The thing, you're threatening to do the thing, anything but the thing. Don't want the thing.
I think I do. I think I do.
Man, now is the time.
Yeah. I'm going to recruit Barbara Gordon.
It's Barbara Gordon. What?
I'm going to pay a resource point to draw a card. I'm going to recruit Spoiler.
Oh, it's that thing.
And I'm going to play from my hand Paralyzing Kiss. Paralyzing Kiss says, play Paralyzing Kiss only if you control 5 or less resources. Attackers cause no breakthrough while attacking Arkham Inmates characters this turn. Then I'll play this resource and then play it immediately. This resource is Prison Break. Play Prison Break only if you control an Arkham Inmates character. Shuffle your hand into your deck, then draw a card for each card you shuffled into your deck this turn. Did I read Spoiler? I feel like I didn't. She's important for this play. Spoiler's power is whenever you draw a card, you may gain 1 endurance. So, Prison Break again is shuffle your hand into your deck, then draw a card for each card you shuffle into your deck. So, I'm doing this actually to gain endurance. The cards are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 endurance.
Indeed.
That's 10 cards. So, I will go back to 30.
You know, it's funny, because I hadn't seen Spoiler yet, I wasn't sure what deck you were playing. I was all confused. I'm like, Croc and Gordon, what's going on?
It's fine. It's fine.
You're doing the thing.
I'm doing the thing.
I should have known,
You should have.
but I'm sleepy.
Meh.
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 Okay. So there you go. In lieu of a 6-drop, I gained 6 life. Or 10 life.
Sure. Did you already? Yeah, you gave yourself a life already, I hope.
Yep, I did.
Good, because then we don't know which of those numbers is right, but we know that that number is right. That's the important thing.
It was 10.
Okay.
I have drawn 10 new cards. Now, technically, I have. I did it a lot of order, pardon me. I had to play this before I played Barbara's Power, but it's still all valid.
Sure.
The important thing was when I played Paralyzing Kiss.
Right. Which must be played when you have
it must
5
be
or
played
fewer
when I have
resources.
5 or fewer resources.
Why do you have 7 resources?
I don't know.
Did you play Paralyzing Kiss
Paralyzing
from your
Kiss is
hand?
not a resource. Yeah,
Ah.
so it's in my game pile.
I see.
I do not have 7 resources. So let's see.
Glad somebody knows what your discard pile is.
I might actually. Let's see. Should I do that? Or I could do that. That's probably the better thing to do. I'm gonna recruit Ratcatcher again.
Oh.
Because you love him.
Oh.
Because you love him.
Oh, I love Ratcatcher. Yeah. You did that stuff. Croc can hit pretty far up the chain. Not keen on that. I will recruit Punisher. That seems like a way to form.
Okay. Ha! You missed a drop. I'm sorry. Do you have a 6 drop?
Maybe.
It's Daredevil or Spider-Man or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit Punisher with Grok.
Yeah.
My attack is 11.
I am, of course, going to reinforce.
Yeah.
So I'll take 5. 4 for the stun, 1 from Ratcatcher.
Yep.
Right. So I am going to attack Ratcatcher.
Alright. I will take 1.
It's true. I will also take 1. I'm going to, just for giggles, track amount of damage I've taken from Ratcatcher this game.
Okay.
How I love to hate that guy.
I think you're a little bit off camera there.
Yep. Alright, I can do it in the middle here. I've taken 12 damage from Ian's one drop. For anyone wondering, that is 60% of my damage I've taken from the one drop. It is to you if you have that.
No, I'm just going to pass.
Well, I'm going to use Hannibal King to attack Barbara Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
Tiny little Hannibal King is tiny little flight.
Yeah. Yep. I will take 2.
And unsurprisingly, Luke Cage will hit spoiler. I know it. I know you're reinforced, but still the right choice, of course.
I will take 1. I will use Arkham Asylum to return Ratcatcher to my hand.
Alright.
Which means I KO Barbara Gordon and I recover.
Spoiler.
I think that's the way to do that.
Yeah, certainly a way to do things. Man, this
I'm going to stack up my played plot twist that can't do anything yet.
Now it's my initiative. I am going to recruit Spider-Man. Spider-Man has loyalty. I do, of course, have other Marvel Knights characters. He also has activate. Target opponent, exhaust all characters he controls. Use this power only during your attack step.
This is going to be interesting.
Indeed.
Well, I've got Batman.
It's Batman!
Batman's power is also loyalty.
Yeah.
And he gets +X, where X is the number of cards in your hand. He also has the power, exhaust a Gotham Knight's character you control, and draw a card.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's still just 10.
A mere 10.
So I will denote that somehow.
Yeah.
How about
Yeah.
how about 1/1 counters because they read on the stream pretty well.
Sure.
Even though this can get quite a bit higher than this number.
Yep, that is true. Interesting. my opening play must be attacking Croc with Spider-Man.
Not exhausting. Interesting. Oh, you might have enough attack on the table to KO my dude. I see what you're up to. Interesting. Well, I will be exhausting Grok
Yep.
to draw a card.
Yep.
Gain 1 endurance.
Yep.
I suppose that's it. I will take 7 from that.
Yep.
There's a lot. I'm going to pass.
You're at 20.
I am not. I am at 20 life. Sorry. Yes, I am. Haha.
Yes. I'm going to team attack with 3 dudes. My attack is 18.
Which is my defense also?
Correct.
I will exhaust Batman to draw a card and gain 1 endurance.
I will, of course, use my Punisher's Armory.
Probably can get it. You wouldn't have risked it if you could get it. You also think you could kill me. You wouldn't have risked it if you couldn't kill me. That's interesting. I still have to play it as though I have a chance, though. Well, let's see. There is a card that I do not have that could drastically swing this game in my favor. So
I am not convinced it is going in my favor for what it's worth.
Alright.
But I do know something also that you do not yet know.
I'm going to pretend like I'm going to keep Batman. So I'm going to exhaust Spoiler to play Bat Signal. I'm going to search my deck for an Gotham Knights character card, reveal it, and put it into my hand and shuffle my deck.
Yeah.
That card will... Oh, my cards are unfaced. That card will be... It will be Superman.
Oh boy, how does he work?
Recruit Superman only if you control Batman. That's the risky part of this play.
Yeah.
While Superman is ready, he cannot be stunned.
Pretty useful card. Pretty useful card.
There's my deck. Another one of these. And then I'm ahead in this exchange again.
Yeah, that's true. I will power up once.
Okay. I thought you might. I'm going to use Arkham Asylum to return
Oh,
Killer Croc to my hand.
novel. I will power up again.
Okay. I Thought you might.
Mm-hmm.
I will
Mhm.
power up. That's really bad if that doesn't work.
When you
Oh yeah, you're right. That doesn't do anything, does it?
so it saves you that embarrassment.
It's fine. It's fine. Ooh.
First, I thought you were doing. So just to be clear, the novelty there was that by powering up, he increases Batman stats by 1/1, but of course has one fewer cards in his hand, thus reducing Batman stats by 1/1.
I think I'm going to lose Batman. That's a little sad.
It depends.
It's gonna work. I have to stun Luke Cage.
Sure, I will take 4.
I will take 7.
Hannibal is going to attack Spoiler. Sorry, you should take your life damage first.
Yes. thank
You were at
I'm
20?
mathing. I was at 21.
20.
So I will go to 13.
Yes.
Is that right? 14.
And then I will attack Spoiler.
Yeah.
Looking for 2.
I got that. So you're not pinging me. That's good news. What does Microchip do?
He allows me to turn plot twists face down of cost 1 or less.
Quick kill is what I'm up against. I bet. That'll work. I'll reinforce her with GCP.
Sure, yeah, that's fair.
I'll take 1.
A big 1 damage. It is technically to you.
I must pass.
Me too.
Oh. Well, that weren't so bad.
But you do have to lose a character.
That's true. It's gonna have to be spoiler. Boy. Where's your KOs, Kyle?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's, I'm playing a different deck
A
today.
little disappointing when your deck completely doesn't work.
Yeah.
I must recover Batman. I will do a card count in a moment because
Yep.
things have shifted slightly.
Yeah. True.
I've got Mr. Superman.
Mr. Superman.
Oh, is it my initiative? I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is your initiative.
And the card count is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I don't know how to count higher in French. 15.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Oh, this is also
Which is 1 more than this one is. Oh, I should play it. No, it's actually 1 less because I didn't play a resource. Which is, it's weird. You have to.
peculiarly, in many situations, I will just be more or less ruined at this point because Superman is gigantic, but Superman does have 2 weaknesses. The first, more commonly known weakness is, of course, kryptonite, which he is, in fact, highly vulnerable. But the second lesser-known weakness is, of course, magic. I will play Doctor Strange with his boost. Doctor Strange has, at the start of the combat phase, you may move any number of characters you control to your hidden area. His boost 1 reads, at the start of the combat phase, this turn, choose any number of characters your opponents control. The controller of each of those characters moves them to their hidden areas.
I wonder if you got me. You may.
And my formation would be like this.
Okay.
And then, sort of the combat phase, I will select both of your characters and 3 of mine. All of these characters are hidden, but in my front row.
Interesting.
I should probably put some in my back row, just in case you have some anti-hidden, because that is always a risk.
That is silly. You have me handled.
Again, there we go. It's very weird because Superman is sometimes, he is circumstantially an instant loss for your opponent. He will insta-kill them. It is your initiative, though.
You overestimated a little bit.
Maybe.
It doesn't matter. There's nothing I can do.
Sure. It is your attack.
Your best play is to exhaust Spider-Man.
That's true, but it's your initiative, so you get your one attack. The play will be, you will attack one of my visible characters, who of course will reinforce the other. Spider-Man will exhaust your remaining character, and I swing through. And my hope is that A, you don't have anti-hidden, B, you don't have instant exhaust, and C, you don't have a way to make a character visible again. Now, each of those individually is a little bit niche, for sure. But I'm not certain in that deck you don't have some version of one of those. And I don't know. It's a very peculiar ending turn here. Certainly, I will get trounced, or you will get trounced, depending on what counters you have, or do not have.
There's nothing I can do. It's a 2, and it doesn't matter how I do it.
Indeed.
I guess I get to draw a card.
That's true.
I'll draw a card.
Sure.
And then Batman will hit you for 2.
Indeed, I must reinforce. Take the 2. And I'll just attack you. For Gazillion. I will say I was pleased to get to monologue about the pseudo-fictional reason that worked.
Sure, no,
it's kind of
a
niche thing. So by the way, Doctor Strange movie coming up looks awesome. So what was interesting about the game, it wasn't specifically that I didn't have KO. It's that whole game, by the way, I drew KO card on my final turn. I had only characters and a single anti-hidden plot twist until turn 5. And yeah, I was basically super, super character flooded. So it wasn't just that I didn't have KO, it's that I didn't have anything. Except characters. I did get my characters. Most importantly, I got to the critical point. And the whole reason the previous turn I went for Batman, even though I didn't have the KO, is because I had to make you lose spoiler. Because the thing that could have saved you in that circumstance
is
was
enough life. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And you probably could have won the attrition game. I had to bank on hiding Spider-Man, or you get to hit through more, because clearly you would have led against him.
Of course.
So that meant that I had to make you get rid of spoiler. That was the thing that had to happen. And I got a little bit lucky because one of the things, the actions you took, it wasn't even necessarily a bad play, but one of the things you did was you popped Croc to your hand to boost Batman. To try, you had to play that game of chicken a little bit about, boosting Batman, I power up and so forth. But because of that, you didn't have that same power left for spoilers. So once I got Croc out of play, I'm like, okay, I don't think you have more ways to bounce characters to your hand. So if I can stun both, I think I can get rid of the one thing that I know can stall the game, which is you spoilering. And
Sure.
I also knew, I firmly believed if we went to 9, I was losing, no matter how much of an advantage I had, because you have gigantic, gigantic characters. And I just wasn't going to be able to stop, because you're going to just swing through my dudes.
But you do have KO, which makes it a risky proposition.
That is true
Especially
under most instances of the draws.
Well, sure.
Right,
You
but
didn't in
yes,
that particular game.
but you couldn't have known that, of course.
I can't recruit Superman without Batman.
Right, that's true.
Which makes that sticky. And then losing...
Yep.
I don't have many Batmans in the deck, so if you make me lose Batmans,
Right.
I progressively have more and more difficulty keeping large characters
Right.
in play.
Well, it's funny. I mean, when you're... to be fair...
It's too bad. I got to do my thing. I thought I was really dominating. And
Well,
it was quite the turnaround.
You sort of were, but it was very strange. It's a very strange game because you didn't even play spoiler until 5, and I guess you don't have to. That's fine. I literally didn't know what deck you were playing until you played spoiler.
I didn't draw a spoiler until 5.
Well, there you go.
Or
was it 6? Because you played Croc.
It was 6. I played around 6.
Jeez.
And I had
That
to
is
play her
atypical.
because my early plays were so poor.
Right.
I needed to make up the life
Well,
then and there. But
Yeah.
in that one 10-card shuffle, I took the other of that plot twists out of my hand, and they never came back.
Yeah.
So I never could do it again.
Yeah.
So even if I had spoiler, I suppose I didn't look at all the cards I could have drawn, but I would not have been able to gain the life again that turn without something significant changing.
Yeah, it was strange. It's climactic but anticlimactic, and in the same swing. I feel. I always feel a little strange about that Doctor's Control. You have to play for it, and I deliberately underdropped on 6 and underdropped on 7 under the hopes that you wouldn't be able to whittle through enough of my characters that I'd lose. Because even though I'm sitting at 24 life, your characters are so big I'm dead in a swing and a half. It's like I'm playing Dark Souls here. I just have to keep dodging at the perfect moment, or all is lost and I have to drink 15 Estus flasks. I should tell Chris about how I screwed up playing Dark Souls.
I told him.
Oh, all right.
We were mocking you the whole way. Your spear playthrough and your no Estus flask. I'm having a good laugh at your expense. Like true friends would.
Well, of course, yes. Discussing my failings behind my back and laughing at me. Mm-hmm. In my defense, and by in my defense I mean as though to make matters worse, while I did volunteer for the spear, the Estus Flask thing was not a volunteer. It was for the final stretch. The last 20% of the game or so, which is a very hard portion of the game. I was determined to end it the way I started it, with blinding stupidity.
Was it 20% even? Maybe.
25,
You had
20?
not done the primary path at that point.
I don't think I beat Gundyr yet. I think it was right before I beat Gundyr. I was trying to decide whether or not to change my behavior on Gundyr.
Right, but you were also, the other thing we were mocking you for was you were sort of, and you weren't doing it intentional, but you were really focused on the non-critical path stuff, which is the really hard stuff.
Yeah, I will say, that actually was a conscious choice, because the one thing I wasn't sure of, and I didn't think this was going to happen in a Souls game, I wasn't certain if I was going to close off one of those paths. In a Souls game that's not outside the realm of possibility, that I'll be like, okay, I'll come back here later. And then, nope, that happened to me in Bloodborne. So when I found paths that I believed were optional, I was determined to pursue them as far as patience would allow, because I was afraid they would go away.
Bloodborne?
There is a zone in Bloodborne you can get to prematurely in the experience, and it's kind of supposed to happen. It's the Sackmen thing, but the whole zone changes.
Right. That's true. You did miss the earlier version.
Right. Whatever that earlier version is, I do not know. There might have even been a boss I missed there. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if there was a boss I missed there, because there's a boss when you go back later, and that area's got to be used for something, so I may have missed a thing. But all of that having been said, that fear meant I couldn't give up on those paths unless they were the Nameless King. One must give up on the Nameless King.
One must. I didn't. I did for a while.
You did for more than a month.
I did for several months, I believe.
Yes. So it's about as giving up as I've seen you do in a Souls game.
Yeah.
And to be fair,
I thought I was done.
Yep.
For sure.
But I proudly inspired you to go back with grand determination and put in another 6 hours of slamming your head against that.
Well, no, it was 10 total time. It was more than 6. I bet it was like
maybe 7 or 8.
Yeah, I bet.
That guy's such a dick.
I literally spent 3 days doing nothing but that with all of my Souls time.
I want you to know that
there was nothing else to do.
Right,
so,
right. I am simultaneously ashamed and proud of knowing you for that.
Well, and here's the thing: like, it wouldn't have worked if I didn't have a breakthrough. Like, I felt like I was hitting my head against a wall,
and then
that's
you did
why
like this is possible.
And then you encouraged me to go back and try some more.
Yeah.
And for about an hour, I felt like I was hitting my head against a wall again. And then all of the sudden, I made a huge, comparably.
Right.
Is that the right word?
Yeah, comparably. I think that's the same word that can just be pronounced either way.
Compared to how I was doing, I made a huge amount of progress. And I'm like, wait, this is actually doable. So then I stuck with it until I finished it.
Well, and it's truly an impressive feat. I mean,
I kind of thought you were going to do it first.
Well, I suspect that thought played no small motivation to having you go back. Like, you could not have that. I know you. But what I will say is I really felt like some of the, and I don't even mean the spear specifically, but I think I am convinced Dex damage is just limited. The Dex weapons just can't do it. And like the best dex weapon, and this was a real sort of good old-fashioned nut punch. Minor.
But again,
yeah.
I played the strength stuff, and you're trying it now.
Yeah.
In your second
I may
playthrough.
come to a different conclusion and just.
But the strength stuff that is not too slow to be realistically usable is comparable to the deck stuff that you're complaining about.
That could be so, and I may have a similar experience, but the real frustrating point for me was that the strongest dex weapon by a fair margin hurts you when you use it, and that's annoying. There are a very small number of decks that I don't know where they are, and that is peculiar.
Peculiar.
Nope, it's not this one.
Hey, we talked about video games on the stream. I said we were going to do that too, like without much context, so people who don't know Dark Souls and don't know us might have been lost for bits of that.
Yep. But there was passion there that hopefully will be genuinely endearing.
Or enduring.
Enduring is another possibility that I am willing to accept.
Man, I'm sad the big damn Batman almost worked, but didn't.
He's worked a couple of times. He's had his day in the sun, that jerk.
I just love a deck where I can afford to play Ratcatcher for 5 turns.
He dealt me 12 damage! He still dealt me almost 50% of my life. I
just love it when, you're like, I'm at 20 on turn 5, and I'm like, yeah, that's alright. Don't worry about it.
Stupid Ratcatcher. In many ways, the bane of my being. One of two. He is my Vertigo.
I was very proud of that deck construction. That was
it's wonderful.
It was a cool find for that.
It is a wonderful, wonderful deck.
And
it's one of the most fun concept decks for me to actually play against, because I feel like, though it certainly has its moments of futility, I feel like I can play against it. Like, it's sort of like playing against Shadow Pact. I imagine it's a little bit similar to that. Like, if I'm aggressive enough and force you to use your thing, but that gimmick before it hits optimal power, I have selected what I think is the last unplayed deck from my S's. One of maybe two, but the one I think is more likely to not have been played.
Well, I'm gonna roll, and you know what that means.
I know. It's the reason that I'm always afraid of my my own S decks is because of your S decks. Let's see. Little trip down memory lane here. The original Dark Souls collector tin.
Yeah, I did not get. I was very disappointed that I didn't get that.
Is that right?
Yeah.
I thought for sure you had this.
I did not. I just when. I mean, that was. I mean, years and years. It's hard to believe that it's
As many years ago
like
as it is.
7 years ago now or something
Oh,
like that.
7?
Something.
Man, it could be. I guess I could buy 5. 7 might have been Demon's Souls.
Maybe.
I mean, Did I introduce you and Chris to Demon's Souls?
Yes. You are single-handedly responsible for our Souls interest by showing us Demon's Souls and selling us on it, and then stopping playing Souls games forever, while we all far exceeded you in our successes in the various Souls games that you still haven't made up for. I think you might at this point finally be a bit ahead of Chris.
Yes, I think I have passed Chris.
Although, let me think about that. He has done, so you have finished...
He did the first 2 completely.
You have finished not Demon's Souls.
Correct.
Not Dark Souls
Correct.
either. You've done Dark Souls 2, Bloodborne, and Dark Souls 3.
Right.
He did Demon's Souls, Dark Souls 1, Dark Souls 2, but not Bloodborne or Dark Souls 3.
Now, I will also observe, I don't think he played Bloodborne almost at all.
That's, I think, true.
So if you wait...
Well, he didn't really play Dark Souls 3 almost at all.
How?
10, maybe, hours?
Yeah, did he get up to the tree?
Yes.
So he beat the tree. Did he get to the subsequent bosses, or was that about his breakpoint?
He stopped shortly before where I am now, in particular in the zone before I am.
That's got to be like 20. I think that's 20 hours. First time playthrough?
First time. Okay, sure.
Yeah,
it
that's
took me
fine.
10 in the subsequent.
Yeah, that seems reasonable.
But yeah, I knew what I was doing, so I'm
we got
sure
like
it was
20 hours.
much longer.
Well, and
larger.
yeah, and
Both temporally larger.
temporally, yes.
By the way, you did get the deck you don't want to play.
Well, that's
Sorry.
fair. Well,
it was due. I rolled every time.
Yeah.
And I think we've had 4 or 5 S decks since it's come up.
Yep. Yeah. Well, I'm sitting down.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get to end the stream on a little salt.
Yeah. No. Well,
Part of our
I don't know when
charm.
we'll end on it, but sure.
We'll see.
The salt's gonna happen real soon.
Yeah. It's funny. There's even when I sometimes beat this deck, I'm still grumpy.
It's a good deck. I'm sorry, folks.
Sorry.
Cal doesn't like it.
It's all right.
It's not super unfair. It is unfair adjacent.
Well, I signed up for this. Yeah, rolling. This is good. You have won the roll.
Well, I must of course go evens.
Of course.
I don't think I can keep that, even though there's some pretty great cards in there.
Yep.
What was the first deck I played in there? It was
yeah.
Insanity.
Yeah. Yes, it was.
Oh, that'll help.
Yes, it will.
Those are useful. There we go. That's what I need.
You went to evens?
Yes. Yes, I did.
So, I am going to recruit Electric Eve. Electric Eve has evasion. Evasion says, stun this character. Recover this character.
Deck.
What's that?
I need this deck to defeat. I don't even think I will.
We'll see.
Is that Morlocks, right?
It is the Morlocks, yes.
What did I say? Morlocks?
Morlocks.
That's not right.
That's Watchman
Morlocks.
character. A little product placement. Recover.
Morlocks?
Stun this character. Recover this character at the start of the recovery phase this turn. That's the whole power. That's what evasion does. She has a secondary power. Whenever Electric Eve recovers, target opponent loses 1 endurance.
Oh, good. It's like Ratcatcher. That's great.
Except that she can only deal 1 a turn instead of 2 at every freaking turn. I'm going to stun her and take 1 damage.
Immediately?
Yes.
I'm going to.
No, only when she recovers.
Oh.
Then I'm going to recruit Tommy. Tommy costs 1 less to recruit, while you control a stunned character.
Oh, this is bad. This is bad.
Now, the thing I will observe for our myriad of fans that aren't Chris, Mom, the whole thing here is that normally when you have multiple characters stunned, you choose one to recover and the others go away. But because the evasion power triggers, any character that I stun with the evasion power is guaranteed to come back at the start of the recovery phase unless they're KO'd.
You might have gotten the edge you need to defeat this deck on turn 1.
Well, against that deck, if I don't get it on 1, I don't get it.
So I'll be recruiting Triad, who is not unique. When Triad comes into play, you may discard a card. I will discard Pharaoh Lad. If you do, search your deck for up to 2 cards named Triad, reveal them, and put them into your hand, and shuffle your deck.
Alright. It's legit.
A deck may not have more than 3 copies of a card named Triad, or something like that.
Yeah. So you get to search for... You search for both and they go in your hand?
Search for both. Both go into my hand.
Alright.
And as a reminder, Triad is Cosmic briefly.
Yes.
Cosmic briefly.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I often comment about against the deck that I guess it's a very strong momentum deck. Very, very, very momentum driven. So it is so critical that you don't fall behind in the first 3 turns. And there is never a guarantee of that. If I miss my 1 drop, my 2 drop, or my 3 drop, I feel like I'm trying to catch up for the rest of the game. Because you can underdrop and still successfully start to build all your horrifying powers. So I am hoping that because I have this little start
It's
here,
pretty good.
I have a shot.
It's pretty good. I think
So
that my play was still correct.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it got you 2 more triads, so the worst case scenario, you have 2 more. Of course, I'm going to attack you for 2.
And it'll work. I will take 2.
And I will take 1. I assume you pass. At the start of the recovery phase, I choose Tommy to recover, and Eve is an auto-recover who does ping you for 1 when she recovers. That was my initiative, however. Is that right? Yes, it was.
So this is my initiative.
Yes.
I'm going to reveal and activate the Cosmic Tuning Fork. Activate, reveal the top 2 cards of your deck. Put all Cosmic character cards in your hand, and the remaining cards on the bottom of your deck. Discard a card. For each card you put in your hand.
A 4-drop and a 5-drop. It's going to be unrelenting. Since they are revealed, can you refresh me on the awful thing that Superman does? That's
Superman?
awful.
Okay.
Yeah,
Superman's
it's real bad.
power is Cosmic. Activate. Remove a Cosmic counter from Superman. Stun target character if its cost is less than or equal to the number of Team Superman characters with Cosmic you control.
Alright.
So these guys go into my hand, and then I must discard a card for each that I put into my hand.
Right.
And I think in this specific circumstance, I'm going to discard Vartok and a Triad, actually.
Interesting.
Cosmic Tuning Fork is active. I straightened it so that I could read it. And then I will be recruiting Triad and Jasmine Cullen, Kid Quantum. Triad's power, you know, she cannot fire again. Kid Quantum's power is I may remove a Cosmic counter from a character I control rather than pay her recruit cost. And I guess I'll put her in the front row.
Alright.
So, Triad's Cosmic.
Right. Well, I got Tar Baby. Tar Baby has evasion. He also says, whenever Tar Baby becomes stunned, you may remove target card in a KO'd pile from the game.
This is going to be so tricky.
Tell me about it. I will form...
I think I'm done. Really.
like this.
You have 3 characters, all of whom are bigger than my characters.
But 2 of my 3 still have a defensive 1. This is very strange. See, the Morlocks, too, to some degree, are a momentum deck. So I have to decide whose momentum is more important when it comes to character survival and whatnot. I will form like this, because of course I need to retain my characters as attackers.
Well, I'm going to attack your rear 1 row.
Yep. Yeah, because you're going to deal a little breakthrough. Why not? Do I want to evade? I think I need the stun. I will take 2. Then Tommy is going to hit the front triad for 2.
Reinforce her.
I am also stunned. 2 real stuns with the Morlocks. This is unprecedented.
I'm gonna lose a 1-drop and no other character this game. I'm Kyle. I'm salty and it hasn't even started yet.
We are getting salt this game. Excellent. I will attack your remaining triad.
I will take 3.
I will lose Tommy and recover Electric Eve to ping you for 1. Now it is my initiative. I will recruit Healer. Healer doesn't see a lot of play. He's a 3/6. He says, whenever another character you control recovers, gain 1 endurance. You may also pay 1 resource point. At the start of the recovery phase this turn, recover target character you control. Use this power only once per turn. I need to think for just a moment about my formation. This is probably correct. This is correct. I will form like this.
Oh my god, your characters are big.
He's no Ubu,
That's true.
but few are.
Well, let's use a tuning fork.
Yeah, always. Kinetics. Oh, man. I can't take anything for granted against your deck. Until you are at negative infinity and I am at not negative infinity. I will count it. I will not count it out.
That's interesting. I actually need to recruit. I usually don't recruit
Are you
kinetics
going to
on
recruit
curve.
on
I think
curve?
I must.
Interesting.
I think I must to try to get back in this game.
See, that is where these games get their most fun, is when we have to do outside the box or non-traditional things. It's part of the
Which
fun.
means I'm going to recruit kinetics. I'm going to that thing I said.
The thing you said you would do, you're doing? Unbelievable.
Which is like so. So kinetics' power is remove a cosmic counter from a character I control. Exhaust target unprotected character. Use this power only during your attack step.
Interesting. You are probably going to use that this turn. We'll see. It is my initiative, I guess, so I have some say in this matter. Bear with me one moment. I've just received a text message from the fiancé.
Texting on stream.
Yes,
Oh, gosh.
questionable etiquette for certain. Okay, so I think I attack with Tar Baby. Is that true? No, I'm going to attack with Healer. I will attack Jasmine Cullen with Healer.
Right. I will reinforce her and take one. I will pull my counter to exhaust the 2-drop.
Yeah. Boy, I want to make you lose more characters. How valuable is it, and how likely is it that any Hail Marys I do this early in the game will work? These are both very important questions. The margin for error is so blasted low.
I can't believe you've had me on the ropes since turn 1.
This is how playing against that deck normally feels like. That very thought has entered my head. And I still feel on the ropes, damn it. So afraid of that deck. If I... Boy. Jasmine Cullen. What are the odds? Boy, it's so bad. Next turn will be your initiative. Probably gonna have the 4-drop that I hate, even though you got rid of one. You will be out of cosmic counters. It's fine, I'm using English. I will pass. Do not think now is the time to act rashly. I may regret that decision.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and use this Cosmic Tuning Fork.
Right.
Well, this got me 2 characters every turn. 3 for 3.
Very, very powerful. Boy, that's going to cost me. I guess it gives me hope that you are potentially character flooded, which doesn't give me massive comfort. But it gives me some comfort that maybe you can't do some of the crazy things that deck can do. You're doing that damn tuning fork, though. Boy.
Well, I'm going to be critting Vartox.
Vartox, look at him go.
Vartox's power is Cosmic Free.
Yeah.
Remove target defender you control from this attack, and Vartox becomes the defender. Use this only once per turn.
Yup.
I'm going to put... in my front row.
Yeah.
I'm also going to play Past, Present, and Future as an as an additional cost to play Past, Present, and Future. Choose 2 different team affiliations among characters you control. If you chose the Legionnaires and another affiliation, draw a card. I'm going to cross them over.
You don't need cards.
I kind of do. Team Superman and
Legionnaires.
Legionnaires. Yeah. Yep.
I will recruit... are you formed?
Yes.
I'll recruit Hump. As an additional cost to recruit Hump, discard a physical card. For those who do not recall, all mutants have a trait, which you can see in that white text, probably very barely.
Trump is big. I mean, Hump is big.
Sure,
is
sure. A
big.
little political humor there, I guess. That's what we'll call that. Yeah, Hump is very large.
Hump is big.
He does have evasion. He has one other power. While you control exactly 1 non-stunned character, Hump gets +2/+2. Pro tip, it's probably Hump, should that power come into effect. He's also just big. And that's kind of why I recruited him, because he's big. In terms of formation, I'm going to shift slightly to this. This game is so tense. Your deck is so terrifying. So terrifying. So terrifying. What a predicament.
I'm going to attack your 2-drop with my 1, or your 1-drop with my 1-drop.
Yeah, that's probably a pretty good play. Pretty good play. I am going to evade, taking 1 damage. And then leave that big guy in the back. He's a jerk. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna attack your 1-drop with Hump for 10.
taking 10 damage.
Well, in that deck, cosmic counters are very, very valuable. I want you to know I am on board with you taking 10 damage.
I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take 10.
There you go. Man. Mine's being blown right now. Being blown. Now it is to you to attack should you choose.
Well, yeah, sure thing, is it?
No, it ain't.
I think I attack Tar Baby with Vartox.
Tar baby. Interesting. Very interesting. Tar baby. Now I must think. That deck is. Oh, that deck of yours.
Oh, that dog of mine.
Dog, dog. As they say in Spain.
Where do they say that?
Spain.
Spanish people say that?
Yep.
That's racist, guy.
Uh,
You just did a racist impression of a Spanish person. Are you proud of yourself?
You don't know what race they were.
Spanish?
I think I am going to take that.
Okay.
I will take 7. I'm very hopeful the stream is picking up the sound of you, but not the animals
cat.
in
That
the
would be
other
great.
room. Yep. Be pretty
I
great.
had not considered that possibility,
Yes,
but
yes.
it could be very real.
Yes. Man, I gotta think. Boy, I gotta think. We have entered What Are the Odds? How many cards are in your hand?
4, 5, 5.
Healer is going to attack kinetics.
Okay.
And I'm going to play Bum's Rush. Target attacker you control gets +1/+1 this attack, and an additional +1/+1 for each stunned Morlocks character you control. So I am a 9/6 attacking kinetics.
You have another one of those, or some shit. You're actually attacking Vartox.
Am I? I thought that you had to activate him.
Nope.
Oh.
Would you like to reconsider?
Yeah, I was real. That was the whole reason I took that attack. This is bad. Yeah, I should not do that. That's stupid.
You have lost your element of surprise on that plot twist, so I'm.
That is very disappointing. Wow, he's a jerk.
Yep.
He can do it when he's exhausted.
Yep.
All right. I will pass.
I'm gonna pass.
Choice.
Love it.
Boy, that was spoiler. I had
That was
that plot
last
twist. That's true. Zing-a-ding-ding. Oh, this card.
That will be
this
useful.
card. So it is my initiative.
Less useful.
And I must recruit.
I'm gonna tune my fork.
Yep. Turn your fork.
Hey, I missed one.
Thank goodness.
Both of them.
About time. Okay, averages are working out here. I am going to recruit.
You mean I have to use the stuff that's in my hand? Like a child?
Like a child. I'm going to recruit Marrow. Marrow has evasion. She also gets +1/+1 for each stunned character I control. Then, I'm going to stun Tar Baby. No, we'll stun Electric Eve. Is that how I want to do this? Sorry, I must contemplate for a moment. I'm stunning somebody and recruiting Tommy again.
Okay.
But I need to think. I think it's Electric Eve. I think that's the better choice. We'll say it's Electric Eve. And so, I must now form. And I will form like this, I reckon. Yeah. I'm going to use white dice to identify characters that have been stunned when evasion has been used.
Via evasion. That's probably a good idea.
It's going to start to be trickier to track, and we should. Yep. A fair assessment has been made.
What I think about that is...
I sure hope it's off. I will point out I have only one card in my hand at the moment.
I have to form lousy.
You're going to have to do weird stuff. It's my initiative.
I have to form lousy. Marrow is 1/1 for stunned characters.
Correct. So she's currently a 10/9.
That's really good.
Would you mind terribly if I just had Tommy in my front row?
Sure.
Actually, should be in my front row. Since you have not recruited yet, I will opt for that audible.
What are you gonna do with that stuff?
Something. Probably
I
something.
can do that, and that will do that, and then
Ooh, you're doing my thing.
I'm doing the Kyle.
He's doing the Kyle.
I'm doing the Kyle.
Doing the Kyle.
I wanna do that, but that's not relevant.
Mm-mm.
Maybe I don't have to form all that. No, I kind of do. Oh, that's really dumb. That's really dumb. I'm recruiting Superman.
Yeah. So remind me again, he's
Activate.
to KO.
Remove a cosmic counter from Superman. Stun target character if its cost is less than or equal to the number of Team Superman characters with cosmic you control.
Which is everyone since you're teamed up. Do you have to activate him?
I do.
Okay, so unlike Vartox, he must be activated and his counter removed. Vartox is not activated and he keeps his counter.
That is
But it's getting attacked.
correct. But he is getting
Is there a restriction as to when you can use that power with Superman? Can you do it
No.
at any time?
I can do it right now if I were so inclined, and usually I am. Usually I am.
Mm-hmm. But this time?
I might not be.
Interesting. So, are you formed?
Yeah, I'm fine.
What a predicament.
Oh, you're making this challenging.
I mean,
I'm not
I
sure
think
I'm in it still.
Me neither.
Friggin' Morlocks. They are your best S deck, so this is
they
this
probably
is a matchup
are.
for the ages.
They probably are. Man.
I'm gonna menacingly look at my stuff,
Yeah,
too.
that's a good plan.
Yeah.
So, I think the correct play is to attack Superman with Hump and possibly throw in another weenie as insurance. Is that true? No, I should not throw in a weenie because then you will stun Hump and my weenie will still be attacking you. So I must attack with just Hump. Did I recover anybody last turn?
You did.
I'm supposed to gain a life when I recover characters. It's not a you may. That's healer's power. Was he stunned?
Let's see. Who did you recover? He was not stunned.
Hump was not stunned. Healer was not stunned. I might not have had anybody stunned. The last turn was weird.
You had 2 characters stunned. You had Tommy stunned and you had Tar Baby stunned.
No, Tommy I just brought out because I stunned Electric Eve to bring out Tommy.
Then you had
turn.
Electric Eve stunned and Tar Baby stunned.
Okay, so I should have gained 2 life from that. Sure. It is not a you may, so I'm going to correct. If his power was this is healer's power. If it said you may gain endurance, then we would consider it an oversight. Though I confess that's probably my 3rd screw up this game that we're being a little forgiving on. That's probably the least relevant one.
This might be a massacre.
Boy, I hope so. I really want to defeat you before you crush me horribly. And by massacre, I hope that's the direction you were concerned about.
I'm going to stun
Hump. Naturally, I will evade.
He has evasion? I thought he didn't have evasion.
He does have evasion.
Oh.
I assume you still make that choice. I still think it's the correct choice.
Yes. Who doesn't? One of your 5-drop doesn't have evasion? Somebody doesn't.
You're correct. I have not recruited that character.
Okay.
There's a very small number. It is not Hump. I don't think it's Hump. It is not Hump.
Sad.
So the reason, again, for anyone wondering, is I must do that because if I do not, and he is stunned naturally through Superman's power, I won't get him back for 3, and that really, really is important. But it's still the correct place. So, as a reminder, for each stunned character I control, Marrow is +1/+1.
Yep. Also, she's exhausted.
I suspected that might occur.
Occur. And because I control Smallville, protected Team Superman character I control get +1/+1 and have range.
Oh, very good.
So Kinetics will be attacking Tommy for 6.
Interesting. I am going to evade. Take 1 damage. Then, Tar Baby is going to attack your 1-drop. For 3. Can't believe freaking Vartox holds Vartox's counter to exhaust someone. My draw is not bad, and I am feeling like I am struggling against your deck. So
we're
powerful.
both in that boat.
It's true. I forced you to consume a lot of your counters. I can't help but think, though, there isn't much I could do to make my draw any better, and if you had one of your ways of getting counters back, I would just be ruined.
I have to reinforce. Yeah. Oddly.
I'm not stunned.
You're not stunned.
But you take only 1.
One.
Yup.
I have to attack
Healer.
healer. And hope that I remember that your plot twist doesn't work on defense, and it might. I don't know. Plot twist I technically don't have knowledge of.
Yep.
4, 8.
Guard protect. No, that'll work. I must take that. So I'll take 2 breakthrough and 3 for the stun. It's 5 damage.
But then you won't gain any of his life. Which is good.
That might not be true. Oh, yeah, that is true because I did not evade with him. Had I evaded, I could have brought him back first. You're correct. I will pass.
Woof.
These 3 are recovered automatically. I will choose to recover healer. I'm sure you're shocked.
Dead even. Oh, but I have no counters. Boy, I wish I
I've
had
got
some
my
counters.
setup, but there's one thing I don't know if you have currently recalled. How does this work? Oh. Man. That's real interesting. Boy, that's real interesting.
Well, I'm tuning it.
Yep, well, while you're doing that, as an additional cost to play Bloodhound, discard a Morlocks character card, search your deck for a character card with evasion, reveal, and
for
put it into your
Kyle.
hand. Oh, boy.
Got me a bouncing boy.
That's bad for me. I'm just going to make sure I remember all this properly. Bouncing boy, real bad. That deck is so good. There's no.
Maybe it's too high tier again.
It's.
I really thought this was like it has lost.
It can
loses
happen.
pretty infrequently. I really thought you nailed me this turn.
I couldn't do anything the whole game.
It didn't happen.
Like, I'm using everything I've got to try and get rid of your counters and hold you down, but you've got so many ways. Well, to be fair, Bouncing Boy is your best case scenario. If you didn't get Bouncing Boy, I have a shot. Now I'm really behind suddenly. Really behind.
So
hardcore fucked.
Language.
This is a stream for adult audiences.
Is it? I don't think I have it set up that way. I don't think it matters.
No, it does not.
So.
And it is your initiative.
Yep. I'm just going to be recruiting Bouncing Boy.
Yep.
Boost X.
So good.
Sorry, he has 2 powers. I'll read them in order.
Yep.
Whenever Bouncing Boy becomes stunned during the combat phase, you may return him to owner's hand. Boost X, when Bouncing Boy comes into play, put a cosmic counter on each of X, up to X target characters you control. So I will boost him for 4, thus replenishing the counters on my team.
Is there any point in even playing? I mean, that's so bad.
That's pretty bad. It's going to be in the front.
Well, it's a great showcase of why I despise that deck.
That's right.
It's just so depressing. We'll see. We'll see. I'm sorry. Did you take your 1 damage for electric?
I probably didn't.
You should take it. Maybe it'll matter.
Maybe.
I am going to recruit Callisto. Callisto does have evasion. She's the one I searched for. She's a leader. Her power is return a character adjacent to Callisto to its owner's hand. Put a 1/1 counter on target character you control. Use this power only during the combat phase. It may be used unlimited times.
Run that by me once more.
Return
Boy, you have a lot of characters.
a
This is
character.
what evasion does.
Yep.
Jeebus, so many characters.
And it would matter if you couldn't exhaust all of them. Well,
I can only exhaust unprotected characters.
sure. I guess my
And
one...
they cost me counters
Yeah,
forever.
yeah. My only solace is that Superman can't both exhaust and stun someone. That's novel. This is probably the correct formation. Is that true? There you go. Now you have to do all the things. Most of the things. Superman, Bouncing Boy, Kinetics,
Well, I got the 4 key players.
and Power Talks. I'm okay until you
And-
get Bouncing Boy.
And a Jasmine. Just for kicks.
Yeah. She matters a lot just because she empowers Superman further.
Welp.
Yep.
I'm going to attempt to stun Hump.
Is there a way I can make that fail when you say attempt? I guess I
Well,
can.
you
I evade
evade.
him. Sure.
I'm targeting Hump with
Sure,
Superman's
that's
power.
fair. I will, of course, evade because there's not a reason not to. But it gets the same result for you, it's just I get Hump back. Marrow is 1 bigger. Boy, she's going to get to attack.
I'm going to pull the counters from Kinetics and Kid Cullen to exhaust your big dudes.
Mhm.
Yep, yep. You got the idea.
Yeah. Greatest nightmare.
And then I'm going to reveal that I have Candor. Non-army Team Superman characters I control that cost 3 or less get +3/+3. And I think the way I do that is... I should take some attack off the table. I don't have much attack.
No, you've taken it off the table.
I think I attack Healer with Kinetics.
Right.
For 8.
That'll work. I will take 2 breakthrough and 3 for the stun. Which is 5. Do you exhaust anyone else?
I don't think so.
Yep. Yeah, I guess that's fine for now. Pass.
You're not attacking. Oh, interesting.
Who do I attack?
Anyone?
With who?
You have 3 characters. That
They're all radically smaller than yours, and you will get a guaranteed counter stun. I've got to use a 2-drop and 2 1-drops to get your 1-drop, whom I can't reach, by the way.
Okay, Vartox will attack Tarbaby. Vartox? Yeah.
Yep. And you are protected, so you're +1/+1, but you don't have the benefit. The other one's 3 or less, or does it?
Correct.
Yeah. I mean, I think that'll still work. Yeah. I will take 5 and 3. Is that right? 3. 8. 11.
Pass. Kid Quantum will attack your rear 1-drop.
Electric Eve.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess I can afford to evade on that one. I will pass.
Kid Quantum will attack your 1-drop.
Yup. I will evade there as well.
Kid Quantum will attack your 6-drop.
Yes.
I'm going to play
I'm ready.
Foiled Assassination.
What?
As an additional cost to play Foiled Assassination, return a Legionnaires character card you control to its owner's hand. Recover target stunned character you control.
Okay. That's a thing that'll work. I'm going to pop this character to my hand with Callisto's power to give someone a 1/1 counter. And couple that ready. I think it's going to be... I'm so ruined. Marrow.
Pretty bad.
And then I'm going to bounce.
I did get ahead that turn. I almost killed you.
Yep, yep. And then I will also return Tommy and give her...
I don't think we're even going to get to my surge.
You don't need it. You've shut me down.
Yeah.
I'm pretty done. But we'll play it out.
I'm sorry.
Well, it's what that deck does.
I couldn't believe the turnaround. I'm going to look at this tape and understand why I got ahead, because I didn't feel like I was going to.
You drew Bouncing Boy.
Well, sure.
I have drawn my cards. Yeah, you take 1 damage for electric.
Okay, I shall.
Eve. Right.
I'm going to play my tuning fork.
Yep. Yep. So it's my initiative. Hello.
Hello.
I am going to recruit Healer, Leech, and Tommy.
You have more low-cost characters in that deck than I thought.
It's a lot. We'll see if I can pull a Hail Mary and let the Morlocks remain fearful. So Leech is going to be real important this turn.
Uh-oh.
It's going to be healer, Leech, and time. So, actually, that's supposed to. We should do it that way. Actually, we should do it that way. So, healer, we remember, when a character I control recovers, I gain an endurance. I can also pay a resource point to have a character recover at the start of the recovery phase this turn. I may do that. I have the resource point spare, but it's probably not going to go to another turn. I'll think about that. Tommy, I'm just legitimately recruiting. Leech's power is whenever Leech becomes stunned, you may discard a card. If you do, negate target character payment power. I do have one card in hand. And I think that's good. Alright, hopefully I'll do something staggering.
I will be boosting Timberwolf.
What?
Boost 1. When Timberwolf comes into play, gain 2 resource points. Spend these resource points only to recruit cosmic character cards. Did I play my resource? I'm up to 7. Yes. I will also be recruiting Bouncing Boy. Boost 4. To do the thing I did last time. This. And this. Actually, I might not put it on somebody useful, such as kinetics. Morlocks don't have much flight, which I'm actually have been able to take advantage of.
It's true. It's definitely one of their... I would say it's their single most blatant weakness, is they are very...
Well, usually I don't
very
stay
light on
in the
flight.
game enough to
Sure.
even notice how they play.
Sure, that's true. That's fair.
This game, though, it turns out they don't have a lot of flight.
That's also true.
And I think that is... Is it?
Yeah, it's something.
It's not awful.
I should have formed very slightly differently. Well, maybe not. The one thing I should have done slightly differently. We'll see if it costs me the game. It's possible. We'll see. Alright. So, are you formed?
Yes.
Okay. So, Callisto is going to attack Superman. Probably unsurprisingly.
Right.
Right now, I am as printed. So currently I am not stunned. And you will be stunned and take some damages.
I'm going to activate Superman
Mm-hmm.
and remove his counter. I'm going to do that to stun your 5-drop.
Right. Marrow. Interesting. I must decide if I want to negate that power or not with Leech. Which I will. I must discard a character card to negate a payment power. It's worth noting that was the misformed Marrow should be behind home.
And you don't have Storm, so you do take the when you stun people.
Correct. That is a 2, was it? 2. So right now,
I think I should reinforce. That's interesting.
yeah, it depends. I mean, you've got enough other attackers on the board for sure, but it's circumstantial. I'll let you decide if you are doing anything.
I am going to reinforce. I will take 5.
So after you reinforce,
Yes.
I'm going to do some stuffs. I'm going to pop Leech. No, that's not what I'm going to do. There's a specific order I've got to do all this nonsense in, so bear with me here for just a moment.
Yep.
Um,
You're going to cover your little dude, I bet. Or something like that.
that would be kind of cool. What is the order in which I do this? So I am going to put Tommy into my hand using Callisto's power to add another counter to Marrow. Then, I'm sorry, this is going to be like, this is everything.
Sure.
Everything is
Sure.
about to happen.
Let's do it. I'm ready. I'm rooting for you now, suddenly. Wow me.
Then I am going to pop Electric Eve to my hand to put a counter on
Interesting.
Marrow. Order of operations. No, I need to not do that. I needed to stun Electric. I apologize. I should not get that counter.
That does also cost you.
That's true. Thank you. Did I pop Tommy or was Tommy stunned?
You pop somebody.
Man, I'm sorry. I'm mucking this up. This is the most crazy thing. This might possibly use every face down card I have.
That would be amazing.
So
In
it's
this attack,
really intricate. Yes.
I'm not even sure what you can do in this attack.
Well, that's where it gets real nutty. Yes, I am wrong. I stun Tommy and take a damage. So.
What on
No,
earth
it's
is going on?
It's crazy.
What? Kyle's team is committing suicide at me.
It's all part of my
I'm
master
not sure
plan.
What's going on?
Okay, this is fine. Everything is fine. So the first thing I do, is I stun everyone.
Right.
So now I'm at 1.
You're positive 1.
Yes. Then I'm going to play Bum's Rush, where I get +1 attack and defense, and an additional +1/+1 for each stunned character, which is 5.
Okay.
Then I will play Shrapnel Blast, which I can only play if I control 3 or more stunned characters. Gives me +4/+4. Then I will play Morlock Justice. Morlock Justice says play only if you control a Morlock's character. Target character loses reinforcement and cannot have it this turn. Also, that character's controller loses X endurance, where X is the number of stunned Morlock characters I control.
Anything else?
That's it. Right now. Actually, let me do the math. So I am plus 10 plus 10. I'm attacking you for 24. I need to review these other cards because more may matter. Yeah, I think that's it. So if you do nothing right now, my attack is 24 against your 8 defense.
Right. Well, I think I must make Vartox the defender and reinforce. I'm sure you have another one of those cards.
I do. You may take another 5 damage.
Ugh.
But that's what you had to do, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So now I am at 24-24, attacking Vartox.
Right.
So mad at myself for my misform. I think that might be the game. That's totally going to end up being the game. I saw it as soon as you were done forming. I'm like, oh, I should have done that.
I'm going to reveal City of Tomorrow, which is another team up, but it gives protected Superman characters I control +1 defense. And then I'm going to power up.
Oh, go ahead and do the power up. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. I guess I leave it at that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess you could pop all these characters.
That reduces Marrow's power. So to pop them puts counters somewhere, but then Marrow gets weaker.
Right.
So
and then I'm gonna take it. 24, you said, and my defense is not 10.
yeah.
10.
Yeah.
So I will take 14 breakthrough 18. I'll go to -3.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I guess that's where I'm at.
Exhaust your remaining characters. Exhaust them.
Indeed. In what order?
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Hump.
Sure. Exhausted. And then Marrow. I'm going to play... Actually... She's so good. I'm going to play Good Samaritan. As an additional cost to play Good Samaritan, KO a Morlocks character you control, and I will choose Tommy. Recover target stunned character you control. That character... while that character is defending this turn, if a character would cause breakthrough instead, that character causes 3 less breakthrough. So that will cause...
That's a very specific card that is really useful
it's
right
very
now.
strange. It will... can kinetics only target... She can only target unprotected, right?
Correct.
So I believe that the way that works is that your effect against her fizzles because my character is protected when it attempts to resolve.
Is that right? It might be.
I think it's the same way with KO, right? Like with
It's-
KO, if
it's
I
certainly-
target you
there's
for...
certainly 2 checks with attacks.
Right. But think of...
Yeah, okay, that makes
sort of...
sense. Yeah,
right,
yeah,
Supreme Court, what case would I use for bearing?
Mm-hmm. Three less breakthrough. That might be enough. That might be enough. I mean, then she's got to attack him. Is my play. By herself.
Yep. And what is your attack there?
I'm even going to throw in a power up because it's going to matter. It's going to be 10.
9, 10.
Is that right?
10. Yes, it is 10.
Plus 3, plus 1, plus 1. 10.
Yeah. Bad fucking formation. I realized it as soon as you formed. I will pop.
Well, your formation is causing this exchange. Like,
Right,
if
but
you had
like-
formed differently.
She should have been here. And then you go to hit Hump. And then I recover Hump after you stun him. And you can't get Marrow. And I knew it as soon as it's...
You made it fucking close. I'm not even sure I've got
so
you.
What is your attack right now?
10.
Right. So... yeah, I have no way to... Like, if I got my other attack... I'm so mad at myself. I could have won. I take 2 because I must reinforce. Because if I don't... Like, you're going to exhaust me anyway, and I can't stop it. So I reinforce and take 2. I'm negative 1. It is real close. What is this card? Is this the one in my hand? Yes, it is. What is this card? It is Heal, whom I did evade with.
If I team attack your 4-drop, we go to next turn. If I team attack your 5-drop, and you have any powers...
And as a reminder, she is inherently +1/+1 for my 3 stunned characters.
Your 5-drop is?
My 5-drop. She's the one that gets +1/+1.
So
for
I
each
have to
stunned
attack your 6-drop. How strange.
I will point out that he is not adjacent. That matters for Callisto's power.
What is Callisto's power?
I can pop characters adjacent to her to my hand to give her +1/+1 to give a character a +1/+1 counter.
I can't win.
Do I actually have
You
enough?
have me.
Well, you said you could force a draw.
That's true. Yeah. I gotta attack you. Or not. That's funny. Ugh. I
So
am gonna get discerned.
I haven't run the math. I will not play this. And that's Electric Eve, who I bounced to my hand. So your attack is what?
11.
That's pretty high. I must attempt to deal the damage to Timberwolf, unsurprisingly, which puts me at -5.
Me too.
But for the first time this whole game, I recover him first. I will recover this character and this
How do
character.
you recover him first?
He was in the recovery at the start of the recovery phase. Because he was evaded, he recovers. And even if we don't count my other evaded character, I recover
so
one
you do-
character and I gain 1 life and I win by 1. Because I had to not pop healer, though I did not anticipate it would be that consequential. Man.
All your belly aching.
Well, to be clear, with 1 card exception, I could not have constructed a better draw. That was a perfect draw for Morlocks.
I did pretty good.
You did pretty good. You
I
actually...
didn't miss anything. I did just fine.
It's true. But that was a crazy game. The momentum seemed 100% me. You got Bouncing Boy.
Yeah, say that like it was turn 6.
Well, yeah, sure. It's not unlikely. That's my point. That's partly the reason the deck is so stressful to play against.
The momentum changed before Bouncing Boy a long time, but momentum changed on 4.
In your favor?
Yes, absolutely.
I guess because I didn't make you lose a character that turn.
Right.
Man, super. I had forgotten. To be honest, I'd forgotten about how Superman synergizes. There was one opportunity I had earlier, and it wasn't a strong one, to use Bum's Rush to maybe get another one of your characters, but I didn't have another fallback because I didn't have enough other of the plot twists to do the crazy thing.
It was pretty crazy.
I was 5 plot twists on one attack. None of them were a flying kick. Boy, what an insane game that was. Let's never do that matchup again. Wow, so stressful.
Well, it was the first time in a while I felt very threatened.
I guess so. Boy, it's so tense. I mean, it's funny because I know how important a Bouncing Boy and kinetics are.
If you had what's her name? Storm. That wouldn't have been close.
So I had...
I was dealing you damage with your evasion.
Right. So I had Storm on 4, but at the time, I know you have enough stat pumps that I needed to threaten your 4-drop. So if I bring out Storm at that point, I know you're spiraling out of control characters-wise. You didn't yet have a Bouncing Boy. So that meant if I force you to use your characters to exhaust... Well, but my point is... I have to hope and pray that you don't have it. Because if you don't, and I get... Because the game I have to play is let's get rid of all your counters.
Right.
Well, theoretically, get rid of all your characters.
Yeah,
right.
Which you
your
started to do.
Yep. And
That's
Hump
when I
was...
I did.
Right.
That's when I thought I had lost very early.
But Storm, so oddly enough, and this is a very important fact, I won't bother with the details of her text, but she does not have flight. Because for some reason this Storm doesn't have flight. I guess because she's the Morlocks leader and is in the sewers.
She's in the sewer, yeah.
Right.
She's underground.
Flying doesn't do much good. But I needed to threaten Vartox. Because I know you have that +1/+1, and I didn't have a way to give her +1/+1 that wasn't also stunning my whole team and using that super, super valuable plot twist. So it was a very, very difficult decision on 4. And I had to go Marrow on 5, and then I had to go Callisto on 6. So then on that last turn, it came down to do I play Storm, or do I play all the weenies to fuel the craziness? There's no way I can run the math on that. I have no fucking clue. I just know I'm going to get to do something crazy and play like 4 or 5 plot twists. Mm-hmm. And I have to bank on a series of things like, it was important to me that you attempt to use Superman's counter, and then that you attempt to reinforce, and then that you attempt to redirect. And if any of those things hadn't happened, it was kind of a weird game of like, do I do this? Do I not do it? And the Marrow misplay was critical. It ended up not mattering, but the risk was if you didn't do all of those things, which to be fair, you had no reason not to do. But if you didn't do all of those things, I needed Marrow as another potential attacker, and I couldn't thwart that. I could annoy by like bringing Leech back and doing stuff, but I could not stop you exhausting Marrow. She was supposed to be my insurance policy if things did not materialize in the mythical way. And to be fair, we were a little generous to me. We did a couple of minor rewinds earlier in the game. That there was one. There was really one. There was one that was like a legitimate, which was the one that I said was the least consequential, which was I should have gotten 2 life from healer. I'm like, that's probably not going to matter. And again, it isn't a you may, so we've done that before. I don't know if that's ever come up on stream. Sometimes when we have a power that says you may, if we get far enough down the line, we might say, okay, misplay, so be it. But we usually offer more leniency if it's like this should have happened. It's a mechanic that was supposed to trigger, which was the case. Jeez, if we're going to do that matchup again, and I will say it's a hell of a matchup, I really felt like I had the perfect draw for fighting you, except there was one turn where I had to put a character in my resource row. But all of that having been said, I needed that setup with the 2/1 drops, which is not a common draw for this.
I was super lucky that my draw was good enough to...
Sure.
And it really, like, I needed all of those characters
Yeah.
that I drew with the tuning fork, too.
Yeah.
My natural draw was not the right draw to counter your play.
Yeah.
And
That's fair.
the turnaround, it might have actually been on 3. The turnaround was when you didn't press for kinetics.
I couldn't be sure. I could get 1 over your defense. And if it fizzled, I knew I was out of the game.
Right.
So arguably, maybe I still should have done the Hail Mary, but boy, that's thin. Against an S-tier deck.
I would not have recovered.
That's fair.
I believe.
I mean, it's funny because you would, of course, lost your 1 drop. That's all you would have lost. But that really matters. And that's true in Morlocks as well, which is one of the things they actually have in common. This game, I always had to make the choice about whose thing I thought was more important, because both of our powers trigger off of momentum. In my case, having more stunned characters, and in your case, having more cosmic counters. But both are undermined, in my case, when legitimate stuns occurs, a stun occurs to my characters, because I can only get the 1 character back standard. And it's just... this is so stressful. So I'm always like, well, I could stun your character with my character, but then my character's also stunned. Whose thing is more terrifying? And in every case, I determined that your thing was more terrifying. Because it's such hard lockdown. It's such a good deck.
Except the kinetics. You blew it. No, you won anyway. Yeah.
What?
I really, yeah, that would have been a villain off play, I think. Though.
Which one? Oh, if I succeeded in that.
Yeah,
I agree. I
could not have
I could feel it, but the thing was, it's sort of interesting, is I felt as though if I got the stun, I agreed with your assessment. Like, your assessment is that would have been it, and I kind of was feeling that. But I had no power-ups, no other things I could do, and your deck is an S deck. If you had a power-up in that protection plot location...
She was not protected at that point.
I guess that's true because I sent a character. But in any case, I feel like 2 defense on defense is uncommon.
It's usually...
But in an S deck, I can't rule it out. And it would have been an insta-loss for me if that fizzled. Because the same was true. It was like, do I make that the play? And arguably, if I decided to make the play win or lose, it certainly would have been less stressful following 30 minutes. But I just didn't want to risk it. Boy, it was tough. It's a tough game. But yeah, if we're going to do that matchup again, or a similar matchup, well, we got to open with that one. I don't know, maybe not. Maybe ending is perfect, because I don't have energy for it.
I mean, it's a good end. Yeah, certainly.
And we got to think of both of ours.
That was a hell of a comeback.
Well, I think we got some of both of our being salty there. We got a little alternating salt.
Well, it wasn't salty. I don't think.
We're a little salty.
Nah.
You get back to me after you watch the stream. But yeah, Chris will have to watch it.
I was salty at your saltiness.
Sure.
I was salty because you were crushing me and you're like, oh no, my 1 drop.
well, for that reason. I mean, it's the same reason that you would have regretted your 1 drop, right?
No, sir, I took it like a man when you got rid of my 1 drop on turn 1.
But then I never got rid of your other 1 drop.
Whatever.
It's funny. I think I'm inherently salty against that deck, as you know, because
Sure.
I'm predisposed to it. Because when it starts doing its thing, it becomes a very futile fight. And it's a very rare deck that can deal with, I have 1 attack and you have 25 life and you have 8 characters and I can still get you. And that was only made possible because I drew two of that plot twist. Because with only 1, it would not have been enough. But yeah, I'm exhausted. That was nuts.
Was that too crazy? So last game was kind of a crazy comeback. What was our first game?
What the hell? That was Insanity. Did you get Insanity?
No, I just didn't draw very well.
Yeah, your draw was not good. Though it was still close. You got
That's
really
true.
close.
So maybe that was a crazy comeback the other way.
Yeah. Well, I don't even remember the second game.
Second game was Big Damn Batman versus KO.
Right.
Where your draw was terrible, but I
Okay.
hadn't won yet, and then you won with by
Oh,
hiding
the
my
Doctor
characters.
Strange kill shot. Asinine thing. It's a kind of an asinine play.
It is. It was
But-
jerky.
But it's the 8-drop crazy play. Some of the 8-drops are really, really nuts.
One day I'll get Superman out. You complain about him every time,
Yeah,
but he doesn't come out much.
The one that you really got me with one time was the one that's, I think it was the 9 Superman.
The 9-drop's awesome.
Yeah, the 9-drop you just did a hard win with at one point.
And
He's almost a guaranteed win. There's
He's in my Superman. What do you call that?
Yep.
Theme deck?
Yeah. He's in your Superman deck.
Is that a word?
Superman's.
Concept deck. That's what you always call them.
Yeah.
I don't think you use that term correctly, listening to you say it on the stream.
Maybe not.
You throw it around a lot. But
I mean, I think...
Superman is definitely a concept deck.
Right.
You call some of my other decks like the Revenge Squad concept decks, and I don't think...
Well, so I guess I use the term to describe anything that is multi-set and clever. If you're in one set, then it's
not at all what that means.
Sure. What does it mean?
Well, a concept
like it's got
deck
a trick.
is like a deck that's built around a theme or a trick or something. To the detriment sometimes of its effectiveness, even. Like the theme of the construction is more important than the success. Although I do have some concept decks that are successful, and Superman is a great example because Superman is a concept deck because the deck's idea is I'm going to have Superman in pretty much every drop in this deck, and a couple of other things to
all the
balance it out.
Superman,
to make it really useful. But I wouldn't say Revenge Squad is a concept deck because ongoing plot twist is their theme in both of those sets.
Yeah.
So all I did was combine the sets. And
Okay.
It wasn't
all right.
There wasn't a lot of creativity.
That's fair.
In
That's fair. It wasn't a revel. It was well executed, but not I guess not necessarily outside the box per se.
Yeah,
Well,
maybe that's the
fair.
key. I didn't articulate that very well. But
No, that's fair. I regurgitated it because that's what I do. That's my version of affirmation.
And it is an effective deck, and it is a multi-set deck, and we can certainly refer to those uniquely. But I don't think it's a concept deck.
Boy.
All right, well,
Crazy guys. We got to get Chris to watch this one.
You think?
That last game alone.
Maybe.
How
he
would get stressed vicariously.
Well, he hates that deck of mine as well.
Sure. Well, everybody does.
Sure, and I understand. And maybe we should talk about, like, I don't know, like I was surprised I made a game of that.
Yeah.
And again, I think that the choice that led to that was your choosing not to be aggressive on turn 3.
Totally. It's a blind choice,
But
and maybe I made the wrong one.
The fact that I turned it around and pretty much from 4 on felt like I was going to win that game makes me say, well, what do we have another double S on our hands?
Yeah.
Or is that what we call them? Triple S?
Yeah, double, triple S.
Whatever.
Game breakers.
A deck that's too high rank. Like, that was your best deck.
I think Morlocks is probably my best deck.
And
Exiles is sometimes
early,
strong,
which is what you need to do, and I pretty much almost, like, you got very lucky that
I got lucky on a lot of fronts. Boy, I acknowledge the luck involved, like having 2 of that plot twist, having getting the right combination of characters. There were a lot of pieces. Like I said, it was nearly like it was quite literally 1 card away from I couldn't make it better. There was 1 card I would have changed that whole game.
And but we have to question because we don't care about winning or losing.
Yeah.
We care about having interesting games.
Sure,
so
absolutely.
Is it too powerful to play in the S tier? And sadly, that probably means if that's the case, it's just not going to get played because the only other higher than S deck we have is also my deck.
That's true. I mean, we could play them off each other. That might be something. That's a terrifying premise. Maybe
they're not a great matchup because they're both weenie decks that thrive on their opponent not being weenie decks.
Maybe that would work. I mean, maybe they counter each other. So what kind of crazy creativity will have to come from that?
I actually think that this deck, the Future Friends, the ones you don't, the one you don't like,
Yeah.
I think it could deal with the Outsiders.
I think it could.
Because
It can shut out parts of the team attack.
the Outsiders don't have enough stun and exhaust to deal with a large team.
Right, a swarm deck, yeah.
And they also, because of Candor,
Yeah.
the Future Friends have a big jump in power.
That's true. They have a real shot.
That the Outsiders don't.
But, on the other side of the coin, Outsiders would be real good at keeping you from getting those early counters. So it's one of those, again, if you didn't get
Well, it's
Bouncing
the
Boy.
same as this matchup.
Yeah.
Like, the Outsiders don't want to risk their characters because they need the team attack
Yeah.
later.
Yeah.
It's like, even though, so it might just be like both decks do stupid stuff that they're not really designed to do, and that the game's not very interesting. But who knows? I mean, we
I
could try
feel
it.
like we should try it just to
We
try
could try
it.
it.
Because they should get, like, Outsiders needs to be on the stream once.
At some point, yeah.
It's got to happen.
Maybe.
I can look through and see if, I don't know if any of mine, like, the game that Exiles won. Let's be real.
What a story.
That is one of our best. But that's like, I mean, that is such an insane match. But the whole match isn't crazy. It was a match, like, it was a great play. It was a great moment. The game holistically, I'm not sure. I don't remember, but I feel like that play was by far the best part. Because the rest of it was like, you were doing your thing, I was doing a little of my stuff, but then I happened to get this bizarre circumstance that empowered me. They've got some stuff that can deal with Outsiders, but I don't know. I don't think they have an advantage. I think Outsiders still has the edge in that matchup by a fair margin.
Well, we unquestioningly moved them out of S.
Right.
Eventually.
Right.
And, they aren't all that fun to play. Like this deck,
Right.
the Future Friends, I'm very entertained playing that,
right.
even though it might not be entertaining for my opponent, because I'm always very carefully selecting whom I'm recruiting.
Yeah,
how
you got to
I'm
make a
playing
lot
my
of
counters.
really tough choices.
Yeah, it's a very... It looks like it just dominates, but the domination comes from really technical
it's true.
play.
It's true. It's true. Counter management. I mean, it's like because the attacks you do are also so critical. It's like if the Outsiders also had a layer of cosmic counters on them.
Yeah.
Or if all of the Outsiders' powers were cosmic counter gated in addition to team attack.
Well, I mean, that's where I was going. The contrast to the Outsiders are just they're printed with stupid good powers that are even better under our rule set. So
I will say, thinking back, the thing that we allowed me to take back was the ridiculous. Well, you didn't necessarily know, but the ridiculous attack against the character when Vartox's power could still fire. I thought he was activated.
Right, I recall.
And we did have to rewind that. That would have. I mean, it's not necessarily a thing that sells you experience, but I will say Vartox surprises me repeatedly. For some reason, I always think he has to activate to do
because
it.
the
Superman
four-drop Superman, which is I think it's weird about the inclusion of this card.
Yeah.
The 4-drop Superman, it might not even be from that set. It's from a different set.
Yeah, he does have to activate.
He has the same stats. He has flight and range.
Mm-hmm.
He has cosmic, and his cosmic power is activate to do that. And then just later they printed Vartox where it's free. And I think that's important. It's important for two reasons.
What is Vartox's affiliation? Is he Legionnaires?
He is also Team Superman.
That's so strange.
And here's how it may or may not be balanced. I can talk about it. We're talking through. We're running a little late tonight. I'll wrap it up soon here. But he is not Superman, which is an advantage and a disadvantage.
Right.
So you can't search for him or power him up with cards that target Superman, of which there are a lot.
Right. He doesn't get to take advantage of a lot of the powers. But you can
recruit him alongside Superman,
right.
and then in this particular deck, he works really well.
Right.
Because I can actually steal your attack and then continue to use his counters for something.
Oh, terrible.
Is very important in this set.
God, he's a jerk. Those good times.
I have that deck so finely balanced.
Yeah, you really do.
There's a location that's Legionnaires team stamped.
Yep.
That lets you pull a counter and put it on the location, and then later pull a counter from the location and put it on the counter. Right. And that would be so useful in that. But I can't afford it because every card in that deck is so important.
Yeah, it's so critical, so important. great cards are getting rejected for greater cards. It's that sort of a deck. Alright, we got it. We should
we'll
call it.
the stream. Thanks for playing with us. Reminder again, no stream next week. Next week is the end of, what is it, August?
It sure is.
Yeah.
According to chat, 08/19.
Yeah, that's today. So next week is
I was reading the chat.
26,
Uh-huh.
which we won't be. We'll see you the week after that, probably.
Yeah, sounds good. Bye, everyone.
Good night.
Have a good night.
I'm mouse failing here. All right, there we go.
Way to mouse fail.
Bam.